think you just got...
We were like, this gotta be the raps. Like, we kind of just seen it.
Yeah.
Sounds like you was hanging out with some lightweights.
I mean...
It was in high school. Like right after
yeah. I would say that was like right after we graduated when that shit happened. But, yeah, dude.
I mean,
I
Desiree
guess-
might have not even been a lightweight because she was dating somebody at the time. In case you guys want to take a
Well,
shot.
I mean, she was with Josh. But, I mean, I don't know how much she smoked at the time or nothing. So, I mean... Yeah, how good? I would say the 3 people that we seen pass out were probably all pretty lightweight, except for maybe Tyler. He probably smoked just as much as us, which is
But
why
we weren't even smoking really good weed or nothing either. It was just like, I think it was the raps.
Well, I mean, and when we were in high school, we were still fucking smoking and shit like that. I mean, every time I come down here, we'd be fucking blazing and everything.
Yep. I knew the one of them in high school. The other 2, I didn't. But I mean, I never passed out from it.
Yeah.
I got to watch it happen.
Every time it happened though, it was over the Blue Juju wraps because we were buying Zigzag. That was like when Zigzag wraps first came out too, like less than a year after they came out.
Yeah, because that was all we bought for a while after that. Was
Yeah.
fucking Zigzag wraps. We were like, this is fucking awesome. That's probably why they don't make them no more, to be honest with you.
There used to be this company that made these fucking really good ass fucking mango wraps. I forget who it was.
Good Times. Good Times mangoes were pretty good.
Maybe it had a girl like smoking a mango on the cover.
No, Good Times didn't do that.
Yeah, those ones were fucking. Those ones were good.
Dang, man.
Dude, so I had a fucking Digimon dream the other night, and it was pretty fucking dope. Like,
Yeah?
I was like in the digital world, but it wasn't cartoonish. It was like live action, and I was going
You
to.
having AI dreams now?
But I had a Digimon follow me around, and I could like Digivolve them and shit. I didn't have a Digivice though, so it was kind of that was the only separation from Digimon it was. But it was pretty fucking dope. It was really awesome.
That's hilarious.
You remember the time that we went and seen fucking Digimon in fucking theaters?
Yep.
That was the last time I ever fucking seen it.
Was that the time we all went? Did he go, or was that a different time? Because I
Wasn't
went
it for your birthday?
No, this was the original Digimon movie.
Oh,
It
okay.
goes, yeah, we went for my birthday.
This is in the 90s.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Back
Because
when
we
it-
just
when
went
it
and seen the
very
last
first came
Digimon movie
out.
that just recently come out, and I was like, I don't remember you being there. Like,
No,
Yeah.
this was, what was that? What, like your fucking like 8th birthday or something
Yeah,
like
something like
that?
that. That was like 3rd grade.
No, it wasn't even
Maybe,
3rd grade,
I would
bro.
say it had to have been like 2nd grade because you moved pretty early into 3rd grade year.
No, it wasn't even 3rd grade, bro.
It
was
like,
second.
It had to be like the summer between then or something.
No, it was school, not because I remember I came home one day from school and my mom was like, your stuff's back, get in the car, we're moving.
that's how my mom and dad did me. Like, but I was in was it around 4th grade, 4th or 5th grade?
Something like that.
Around 4th or 5th grade.
Yeah.
Because like I came back in high school, and like all the same people were still there, and they're like, Corey, where'd you go? You just disappeared one day. I was like, yeah, my mom says all of our shit's packed. We're leaving today.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. We used to play Digimon at recess every day. We just fucking walk around on the playground and pretend like we had these crazy ass Digimon and shit.
Well, we had the little, the
Yeah, we were always playing
Digibangs,
with the
too.
Digivices. We had the D3 Digivices.
I had
the
a
second
D3
one.
Digivice. Mine was green. I think I had 2 different ones, but mine was green back in the day that I remember.
We would just take it and run around
Blue or
until we
gray.
get into a battle, and then we would do the battle or fucking. fuck
See, I never
around.
linked up and battled with anybody. That's the one solid thing I can say I did with the Digivices is I didn't never linked up and battled with anybody. I would just sit there and be like, I'm getting
You
those
get them
steps
bitches
in.
taken away, they get all pissed off.
I'm getting those steps in. Like, just sitting there at home, like, getting those steps in.
Yeah. You know, it never clicked in my head until like a few years ago that it was like supposed to be like a step thing.
Yeah.
I was like,
Clicking on your
yeah,
waistband. it's a step
dude,
thing.
like I never
Yeah, we
understood
always
that. It was,
just-
yeah, I was just like fucking shake that shit, get down to 0.
Just fat kid at home.
Yeah, dude, that's what it was. I'm sitting there, I'm trying to fucking fight Black War Greymon. Fuck this shit.
Was there an
Awesome.
end game to that Digivice? Did any of us complete it? Like,
No.
No, I don't think it ended ever. I think it was just like a constant like loop. You just fought the same enemies over and over again. It was just like random. But like I think you could do like a map, and you like pick like the areas you were in, and then the end.
I don't remember
boss
the
would
map
be
of the
different.
areas, honestly.
Dude, my Digivice got left here when we moved. Damn.
Ah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I can relate to that because every time my parents were like, pack shit up,
Was
we're
right
moving.
here, the
You only got a
I
certain
had
size
left.
box, and they're like, take what you can fit in this box. There's I don't know how many times we've had to leave lots of shit behind, like a whole trailer behind or something.
Dude, you know what's crazy? You know the apartment that you lived in with your mom there?
Which one?
The one right at the end in Perry's Glen?
Yeah,
That's the apartment he lived in.
5?
I thought it was
Oh,
31.
the numbers are all different back
Oh.
there now.
It's a handicap- it's a handicap
that
apartment
same
now.
back one. Yeah, it was
Yeah, you go all the way in the back to the left. That building right there. All the way left.
Oh, so
Yep.
all right. So let's say all right. You go all the way to the back. There's the building this way. We lived in the building going that way. We
Yeah,
lived in
like you
this
pull
one.
in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I lived in this very apartment.
Yeah,
down
and
here.
then it's a 3-bedroom apartment. It's for handicap.
Yeah, there's
now.
2 upstairs, 1 down.
Yeah, it was the same apartment. I always
Yeah.
thought that was hilarious. The funniest thing I ever remember from that.
My mom died in that
when we were in
apartment
that. Well, yeah, that's
Oh, yeah.
that's shitty for you. I was
We got
over
raided
there
twice
the
in that
one
apartment.
weekend, and his mom was cleaning the house, and she said something about not being downstairs, and he went down to get something, and she come back, she had a fucking basket of laundry, and she seen him in the window, and she dropped the basket of laundry, and he's got one of those, those little fucking expandable tunnel things, you can pop them down their thing, and he grabs one of those, and he just fucking pops it up and sits down. And I was like, I ran upstairs, I just hear her yelling and shit, I'm like, oh fuck.
My mom's still mean.
Yeah.
My mom's still actually she's probably more mean now than she was back then.
She's just being bitter then.
Yeah, happens.
Uh.
You miss them when they're gone.
Then I used to I smashed a little girl on a bike there the one time over
You
a weekend.
what?
I remember that.
Yeah, I was
You
on.
ran into her?
Yeah, because
Because smash for some people means
no, dude,
Not that,
it
not that.
wasn't that. It was I had never ridden a handbrake bike before, and he was quite a bit taller.
oh, so you
than
started
me.
trying to pedal backwards or something? And just
well,
kept going?
Well,
Yeah,
mine you
but-
could pedal backwards and it just had the continuous thing
Yeah.
that would propel you.
But
and
I
everything like that.
wasn't tall enough.
And he wasn't
I don't-
used to the
And you
hand.
couldn't
Yeah.
stop with your feet or nothing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that little girl come fucking. She on a little tricycle, dude. Had to have been 3 years old.
Ran her right
Came
the
out.
fuck
I was
over.
like, watch out! Boom! I went flying. I pulled a muscle in my arm and shit.
At least you both got fucked up. She looks retired now, but...
Yeah, that was my
Oh,
red
dude.
Huffy. I remember that fucking bike.
Alright, this
Yeah.
is a funny bike story. So this is when I learned not to let fat chicks ride your bike. So I was down in Tennessee, and to get from one side of town to the other was to ride a bike, and it would take you a half hour, maybe longer, because I lived in a big town. Well, we rode an hour across town to the high school I went to, and we were at the high school, and I let a fat chick ride my bike. She went off of a curb, and somehow my back tire popped. I had to walk my bike all the way fucking home. And that's the lesson I learned on not letting a fat chick ride your bike.
It's a solid thing to go by.
Yeah. I never had that. Well, no, I did have a tire pop on me on a bike one time, and it freaked me out because it was I went over fucking the railroad tracks down at the end of the fucking street there.
Yeah, I remember.
And dude, as soon as I went over, fucking that tire popped. I don't know
That's
if I
weird.
hit. Yeah, dude, but that shit scared the fuck out
It
of
had to
me.
be. You had to be had low air and just the rim smushed. the
Yeah,
two.
dude, I guess it had to have been a coincidence.
You remember Ohio Street in the Gardens?
Yeah,
Remember how it turns into a gravel road?
yeah,
Mhm.
it still does.
If you went back there, there used to be this big old fucking pile of gravel. We used to jump that shit on our bikes, dude. I watched so many people wipe the fuck out on there.
I would have
dude.
done
Like,
it.
Dude, everybody from the neighborhood back there just fucking wiped out. I've wiped out there too. And it was a huge hill, and it was sketchy to begin with because it wasn't shaped correctly, and the landing, there was no downslope. It was just
See,
a
we made
ground.
ramps down in Tennessee because I used to race bicycles. So like a motocross track, but with bicycles. So I've raced bicycles, and if you case a ramp wrong, you do a couple flips. So I've cased a ramp wrong, did a couple flips, and pulled my full face helmet off and just spit out dirt. I'm all like, how in the fuck did I just eat dirt with a full face helmet on?
We never wore helmets. We probably should have.
We never wore helmets unless we were at the race car, not the race car, but the bicycle racetrack. because it was big ramps,
Well,
and you also were racing next to about 5-6 other people.
Well, I mean, at least you had the sense to fucking put the helmet on, because I probably
So
would.
I didn't get racing pants until later on, but I have multiple scars all along my shins.
Mhm.
Just from like, if you wear bald shoes, you had metal fucking pedals, and your foot slips off, and that pedal just grinds up your fucking
done
shin.
that a few times.
Yeah, like so you're just pedaling really hard, and then the pedal just grinds up your shin, and you're like, oh, that just went through the fucking blue jeans.
I've had the fucking pedals come back, smack me in the shin. I've done that a few times.
This is dumbass retarded. So back in elementary school around here, probably when we went to elementary school, I lived over on Lakeshore Drive. I had a loose chain on my bicycle. My dumbass is riding down the street, go down and feel my loose chain while I'm riding the bike, and then I'm about to fall over, so I start pedaling, and I pedaled one of my fingers into the chain / sprocket, or I think it's called sprocket, but yeah, like, and I had to keep pedaling to get it out of where it was. Oh my gosh, yeah, like it put a, like, I don't think it pierced all the way through from one nail. It literally went into my nail in the middle and almost went throughout the other side, but I could not get it out unless I kept pedaling. Dumbass.
Dude, that fucking sucks. That's like, oh, fuck that. I see people do that shit online. They're like,
just purposely though, like, but I was a little kid, like just.
dude, just being dumb.
I should have just fell over and took the blow to the fucking shit, like elbow or something. But
Yeah.
I'm just like, just pedal my finger into the spokes.
You ever put the card in your spokes?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
make it sound louder.
Yeah. Guess I did that a few times.
We did cans down in Tennessee.
I've done cans
Oh.
and cards. I ride a motorcycle, of course. I've done the cans. and
Yeah,
cards, bro.
right. That was the.
Oh, is that
that
your
makes
motorcycle out front?
Yeah.
What type is it? The fucking
It's a Harley.
Harley?
Yeah. It's an ultra classic.
What size engine?
96 cubic inch.
So is it like a 600? Doesn't go up that-
CCs, it would
CCs.
be 1,600
Oh, it goes up pretty fucking high then.
and I think like 94. or
Damn,
something
yeah.
like that.
It's a fucking big ass engine then.
Yeah, you're
I
not
mean,
fucking around, man.
It's got to carry all the weight and shit, you know what I mean? And I still got to get up and
You
go.
got bigger on the back or something too, or?
No, dude, my wife is fucking 120 pounds soaking wet, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't do the big girls. Yeah,
I don't know why, but the big girls love me.
yeah, hey.
Yeah, the big girls love everybody though. That's the thing. They just latch on to whoever they
I need to get the big girl magnet off me or something.
Quit fucking rolling around in hot dog water.
What? Didn't know that was a thing. Did you do that?
That was just the first thing that came to mind, bro.
I never remember you ever dating a big chick, honestly. What's like the biggest chick you've ever dated? Or even messed around with, even. You didn't have to date her.
No, you put names out there.
Not names. Yeah. You can call her
You got
something
to,
else.
though, now.
No, probably the biggest girl I ever messed around with was Mindy. You remember her?
From Wendy's?
Yeah.
Did Mindy work?
I think you're thinking of Lindy.
There's Lindy. I thought there was a Mindy too that was like, she worked the...
Well, she might have been. I don't think Mindy ever worked at fucking like.
Maybe
No,
I
this
didn't.
bitch's name is like Mendy, Mendi. Here, I'll pull her up. I'll show you.
I don't remember Mindy. I mean, as soon as I see her, I probably remember, but...
He asked me if I knew you, but I don't think I do.
I don't think we went to school at the same time, because I think you left before I came. Well, I was here for kindergarten first, but I was in the retard school.
Same grade.
Yeah, we're in the same grade.
I was in here first and second at the time.
So we probably went to school together, but that's a long time ago.
Mrs. Cumero in one of my classes.
Yeah, that was second grade. That's Mindy.
No, I don't.
She's
I
not
don't
like
remember her.
huge, but that's the biggest girl I ever
The
messed
biggest
around
girl
with.
I ever messed around with, well, actually not messed around with, but dated, was Nikki. You might remember Nikki from Norwalk.
Oh yeah, I remember her. I don't remember her being big though.
She was on the point of like cottage cheese legs. She didn't have cottage cheese legs. But it was getting to that point where it was going to start to ripple.
Yeah.
She looks a lot hotter now, though. Sexy as fuck, actually. I'm not lying.
Hey, he's just
Shoot your
scared.
shot. Shoot your shot.
Yeah, I gotta say, he just like, he got cover his bases because she might see it.
No, but
I can't get caught talking shit about this bitch.
well, that's just because back then we have a picture of me, like, us by a fire, and I'm sitting there in, like, a lawn chair, and she's sitting on top of me, and I'm just like...
Well, but I mean, you've never been like huge.
No.
You fucking
About the same size, maybe a little bit bigger now, but...
Yeah, I'm gonna say you're definitely bigger now. We're all bigger now, though. I was gonna say, bro, we never.
I've always been big!
we didn't eat nothing back then. All we did was drink and smoke weed.
Ate at work.
So, yeah, I gotta say we ate at work, and that was it.
Even then, actually, when she dated me, I worked at the coffee shop, so I was probably living on ham sandwiches or some
coffee.
kind of coffee, and amongst other things. You said you brought some really good bud. Can I check it out?
It is fucking pretty good.
It looks like some good nugs. Like the red hairs on them.
Yeah, I smoke a lot, so I can't.
Oh,
I
it's
can't.
just. I don't have a marijuana tattooed on me for no reason. Marijuana leaf.
I don't have no tattoos like that. I do tattoos for a living. I don't have no tattoos like that.
Oh yeah, he did that one.
Did
He's
I
the one that-
tattoo you?
Yeah, you did. You did my smiley
You still
face.
tattoo or no?
Yeah.
He's
We have to do a
atomic.
tattoo session while we're doing a podcast sometime. That'd be sweet.
You got a tattoo right over in Sandusky.
Okay. Where at?
It's called Atomic Tattoos.
Oh, I've got my tongue pierced there.
Okay, yeah. Old guy.
I don't know who it was back then. It was a long time ago. It was at least
okay.
more than 6, 7, 8 years ago.
Oh, yeah, it might have been somebody else by then. Probably fucking like Brady McKay or something.
Oh no, yeah, this is what I was talking about. I want to get the rest of the power coins. I got the 4, but I want to get the other 3 somewhere on this arm, and then I want to fucking like make it look like Majora's Mask is draining their power out of them. Because I don't know why, but the chick put these fucking like clear
Smoke
like
lines.
smoke lines in when she did that. And the more I look at it, the more I'm just like, that would be fucking dope.
Actually, now you mention it, that would be pretty sweet. I don't know why she did either, but at the same time, I don't think it was a bad idea.
Yeah, me neither. I thought it looked cool. Because, I mean, I seen it and I looked at it and I kind of thought, like, no, what the fuck is that? And then I just didn't say anything. I was like, because that's still.
Well, and
looks
any of
sweet.
the-
Honestly, the reason she did that, if you put your hand up, make a fist. Where all the fucking spots are. and
Or
that's
where
your
ink
hands,
comes
bro.
out.
Yeah, that shit's barely gonna hold, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you've had to have that done twice, right?
No, I didn't get anything
Okay.
redone on this one. Because fuck that.
I don't even, to be honest with you, I don't even remember tattooing you. Now I look at it,
Yeah.
I do remember doing it, but I don't remember where was I at that point in time.
It was Atomic. Yeah, we always say it was.
We got
yeah, that
matching
was out there.
tattoos. I have actually probably like 5, 6, 7 matching tattoos with really good friends or acquaintances, and we have matching tattoos. It's pretty dope. Digimon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Digivice tattoo. Oh, that's my Skull Greymon.
Oh, that's the other one.
That one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't do matching. I do matching tattoos on people all the fucking time. All the
Do
time.
you have any other?
No, I have a same subject tattoo with my old lady, but I don't have any matching.
See, I've always, like, even same subject. Curtis was against matching tattoos, and I was like, all right, we'll get same subject. So I was gonna get like, he was gonna get Beavis, and he was gonna get Butthead, and I was gonna get Beavis.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
No, yeah, how to say, I just like the fucking nerd stuff, man.
I like the darker shit. That's always what I've fucking gone towards. I got a cool ass plague doctor on the back.
Oh, dude, fucking
dope.
kind
I
of
like
fucked
that.
up my Metal Greymon, though. He kind of made him look fat instead of badass.
Yeah.
You can always get it touched up, and people add shading to it and definition. Because
Yeah.
like when I got my octopus on my ribs, that was an at-home tattoo, and then the person that did the rest of the around it added purple and like shading and stuff like to add to it. So you can always get stuff to add to it when people work around it.
Oh, no, yeah, I know. I just... Whatever. It's still fucking sweet. I'm still.
No, it's still sweet, but you said you were complaining about it a little bit, and I'm like, you can always get it touched up, and people can add definition to
You
it.
still get tattooed here mostly?
No, fuck that. Uncle Fatty's the only one he ever did was my Sharingan.
I don't go to Uncle Fatty anymore.
Yeah.
He's done a lot of my tattoos. Nothing against Uncle Fatty. Like, he does good work sometimes, but my reason I don't go back to him anymore, and I'll say this to his face, but he started to care less. Once he knew I was a returning customer, even though he was charging me a really cheap price, I noticed him fuck up on me once, and I'm all like, hey, dude, you fucked up right here. We need to do something about it. And he was all like, oh, shit, I did. Called him out on his own shit. And he actually, he was like, oh, fuck, I did.
I don't know the dude. I don't know. I've you know what I mean? You hear people's reputation and stuff like that, but I don't know. I've never had
done.
tattoo.
I've seen really
like
awesome work. I'm talking about really awesome work, and then I've seen him do, his specialty is not realism.
No, I mean everybody's got their things, you know.
Yeah, and I've seen him do a realism of somebody's sister that's supposed to be someone's sister, because they passed away, and then he tattooed it, and years later it looks like a zombie.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't do family portrait members.
That's something if someone comes to you with a portrait and you're like, that's when you send them to somebody else or something. Hey, go to somebody.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Don't do it on them and then.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's not my fault if your sister's looking fat, you know what I mean, or got a lazy eye, or you know what I mean, because you look at them people all the time. So doing a family portrait is, dude.
Go to somebody that does realism.
I would say not even just realism. Go to somebody who specializes
in portraits. Yes.
Yeah, because somebody can specialize in realism, flowers, animals, stuff like that.
Or you're right.
They can do a general person's face, you know what I mean, but they're not great at specifics, you know what I mean? And when you look at somebody every single day for your entire life, like it's one of your kids or something like that, if a cheekbone is a little bit higher or a birthmark is a little bit different, you're going to notice it.
I agree with you.
It's the slight things, you know what I mean?
I agree with you.
So to do portraits, you really got to be on your shit. Because, a lot of people out here doing portraits, but to do portraits that look
you're going to pay a pretty penny, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's going to take some hours. You know what I mean? That shit ain't easy. That shit ain't... Like I said, I'm not doing that shit. For real.
There's only been one I've been to probably at least more than 6 tattoo artists. 7, 8. Up more the past 6 range. And there's only been one that's really impressed me, and that was Amber I think Amber something. Can't remember her last name. She did Master Jiraiya right here.
Let's say Amber Heard, isn't that?
Yeah, right. But she's dropping deuces while
Amber something. Amber something. She did this, and she didn't bust out a line or anything. She did it completely with a shading pen, and I was pretty fucking happy with that.
She did my Majora's Mask too.
Yeah.
She told me she wanted to do that, and she was like, this is gonna suck worse than anything you've ever felt, right? And I'm like, yeah, I know.
Because you already had that one.
Yeah. I was like, I got a little taste of what it was gonna be like when I did this one. Dude, for the longest time after I got this one too, I was like, I'll never get another tattoo on the back.
And that's one thing I'll say about Rusty too.
I seen that one, and I'm like, that's too.
I'll say this about Rusty too: he can be very heavy-handed. Because when he did this right here. Not the line work, but when he went over with the shading, this shit, swelled up to, here. It was, 3rd-degree burn swell ups. The skin bubbled. And, when he was going up here, I was like, hey, don't tattoo over that over there, because usually, tattoo artists touch stuff up when they're in the end. And I was like, don't go back down here. He was like, I wasn't going to. And then, that scarring right here, you can probably see it. This right here, scarring. There's some scarring in here. Those scarring is because he was so heavy-handed, and it swelled the fuck up.
You sure you're not just a pussy?
No, I'm pretty sure I'm not a pussy, but I am what I eat. I am what I eat.
He almost got in a bar fight a couple weeks ago because somebody called him a pussy.
Yeah, technically, I guess I did get into a bar fight, but it was more or less... people telling me to get off of them.
That's why I don't go to bars.
I do poker runs and stuff out of them. I go to a few. I like the Black Swamp in Oak Harbor. That place is cool. It's relaxing. Yeah. There's a couple bars that are around here, but
it was
honestly,
at Beer 30s.
Okay, okay. Honestly, for the most part, I try to kind of stay out of the bars in Port Clinton. I mean,
In that bar fight, it was not my fault.
yeah, yeah. No, I mean, it's always shit like that. You know what I mean? Like people go out and look for a good time, and there's always motherfuckers trying to fight. You know what I mean?
It's just more or less like I felt what was endangered.
Yeah.
Or I definitely like he definitely came up and definitely confronted me in that bar fight. Just saying.
Well, I mean, if you got to defend yourself, you know what I mean? That's one thing. If you have to, you know what I mean?
Because
that's
all right,
perfectly
all
fine.
right. Long story short, I got lured outside. He was standing about 4 or 5 feet away from me. He was like, "Corey, you're a punk ass pussy," and I was like, "No, I'm not a punk ass pussy." Like I'm just casually like I responded to it. I'm like, "I'm not a punk ass pussy," and he walked up right up to me and smacked my beer out of my hand and said, "No, Corey, you're a punk ass pussy," and then a reaction, I just fucking hooked him. Like I just fucking hooked him, and then after I punched him, he kind of flew back a little bit, and then I wrapped my arm around his neck, and then sent him to the ground, and then I was choking him out after that. And then when I was choking him out, he was pulling my hair, scratching my face.
Yeah, he had a big ass scratch on the fucking on his
He
nose
was
and
pulling
shit.
my hair
I mean,
and
there ain't-
scratching my
there ain't
face.
no
and-
rules in a street fight, homie.
No,
Yeah.
no. I was choking him out, and it was just like people were like, "Corey, stop choking him out. Stop choking him. Like, stop, Corey." And I was like, as soon as I stopped and let him up, he ran off, and I went back into the bar. But they were like, "Corey, you got to leave because you were just in this fight." And I was like, "All right, whatever." Long story short,
Yeah, I'm gonna say sometimes it happens.
but don't call someone a punk ass pussy and then like, I felt
You beat
endangered.
up?
Yeah, right. Yeah. No,
I would not have started confrontation, whatever you want to call it.
Confrontation.
Yeah, confrontation, and run up to somebody in their face and smack their beer out of their hand. Like that's grounds.
That's probably a good thing. Not be doing that. Yeah, I agree. It's
Because I didn't even think twice. Like I did not think twice about like, I just straight.
yeah, my bad. I didn't mean to get you riled up. I was
No.
just
Like I'm cool about it. It's just like it still angers me a little bit.
He's like, I just want to be clear.
Yeah.
Be clear about it. You know, and
It just angered me a little bit because like I wouldn't have did that to somebody, and that's what angers me about it. Like
Yeah. People are fuck ups, man.
you can call someone whatever you want, like, but when he went up and did that, I was really upset. BK, you want a shot?
Yeah, I'll do one. I don't work tomorrow, so I'm not scared.
And tomorrow Monday.
Yeah,
You
I
don't
don't
drink?
work on Mondays. Yeah, I work Tuesday through Friday. I do 10s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Which is fucking funny to me because there were so many years at Signature Label that we talked about doing 4 10s a week instead of 5 8s and how it would be so much better. And then I got this job and it was, you don't gotta do that. I'll take a fucking shot. I'm not
All right,
fucking do
Amanda.
I mean, I would never think about fucking mixing a drink in a shot glass.
Some people do.
It's you basically just get to make your own hours, huh?
Yeah.
That's dope. What do you do?
A tattoo for a living.
Yeah.
That's just it.
That's it. Yeah. Oh, I do piercings too.
So how much for an at-home tattoo party if we do a podcast or
I don't normally do
at-home stuff?
at home stuff only because, dude, like it's a lot of like lugging a lot of shit over. You know what I mean? And then you don't always have the proper equipment. You know what I mean? Like, cause sometimes, you know what I mean. Like, okay, for instance, in order to like do an at-home tattoo party, you gotta have like the designs picked out and ready and fucking stenciled already
So you
ahead
don't
of
have
time.
the. To be honest, I don't mind drawing tattoos or like a lot of people have printouts now. The printout machines.
Yeah, but I mean, I got to bring a printer with me that resizes as well because some people might want it a little bit bigger or a little bit smaller, and then it's just I got to bring fucking tons of needles and inks and stuff like that, and other fucking supplies, paper towels, and then sterilization equipment, and then Oh, there's a lot of shit to it. There's a lot
I get that.
of shit.
I get that.
And even with machines, like nowadays, my machine is a wireless pen. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's battery operated.
Uh,
So it takes out, I don't have a big ass power supply with a pedal, you know what I mean? So it takes out a little bit of it.
I've
but
thought
I mean,
about
it's still-
Dilly dallying.
diddly dallying,
Dilly
said-
dallying.
dilly dallying in tattoo work because I'm a really I consider myself a good artist, but I'm more abstract.
Certain stuff I'll draw on people. I'll literally take Sharpie and I'll just draw it on them. But that's certain stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that.
But I mean, most time I
I'd let you tattoo on me just to let you get more practice and see what your work looks like.
you got an Instagram on your phone?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can pull up my Instagram real quick. It's just
I'll
on
follow
it.
you.
Well, you can see it all right on his screen. He got it on the screen now. Yeah, wait, go back to that. No,
Dude, that's all.
I've seen a lot of humping.
yeah,
Dude, that's all Instagram is.
No, they're following your AI program.
yeah, that
Masturbating
looks
with-
like it's Joseph.
Oh, okay.
Jose.
Oh, I
PHE?
wasn't paying attention.
SEPH.
Yeah. Yeah, it helps if I look at the phone and not
Yeah,
the
right
screen.
down there. I can
Oh,
see
Curse
the
was
top of
supposed
my
to come
thing
tonight?
already.
What?
Curse was supposed to come tonight.
Yeah.
No, well, he said something about it, but he said something about wanting to
Just
do an
recent
episode
Tuesday.
tomorrow.
Yeah, that's recent.
I seen some of these pictures.
I like the tongue work in that.
That right.
That tiger.
Yeah, it came out really good. That one right here, that's a cover up. If you slide it to this.
Oh, I wouldn't have been able to tell it's cover up.
Yeah.
Huh.
To be honest, I would not have been able to tell it's cover up. That's a good job.
Yeah, dude, that's fucking dope as shit.
I think, yeah, like you made it look into something phenomenal. Like that, I can't even tell. And now, like, what with fading out? Like, have you seen it?
Oh no, it looks good.
All right,
It looks good.
some Chucky.
Ha ha.
See, I do a lot of walk-ins sometimes too, so it allows me to do a bunch of different stuff.
Well, if you ever need
That's
practice,
dope as
I'll let you
shit.
practice on me.
Yeah,
I'm not really in my practicing stage. Just you know.
yeah, right. I think he's like might be a little bit past that stage.
Yeah, I get that, but
That right there, that's a girl's.
see a lot
That's a girl's leg. I did that all in one day.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Some pandas.
well, if I was looking to go out and pay $300-400 for a tattoo, I would. But
I'm always reasonably priced with my stuff.
plus, every
That's
tattoo
cover
artist
up.
needs more
That's
practice.
cover up too.
Yeah.
Well, we're
Little
always
money.
learning. We're always learning. You should always be trying to learn new
Yeah.
shit, and I am. You know what I mean? But sometimes it's
Like, I have a lot of ink on me, so it's like I don't have much room left, so it's like it just depends.
You got plenty of room to do shit.
That's true.
Never run out of fucking space.
What are you best at?
That's
What do you like to do or you're best at?
a
You like
that's a cover up too.
That's dope.
That's a cover
I
up
like
too.
that.
If you slide it, that shows you what it covers.
Some angel wings.
Yeah.
Damn, yeah, that's fucking dope as shit too.
I like doing like illustrative stuff, and lettering is one of my favorite things.
Okay.
The animal prints are fun to do sometimes. It depends on the print that they bring you. Sometimes they're not always the greatest. You know what I mean?
That's fucking sweet.
Hands are so fucking difficult.
Yeah.
They are. They're
Yeah.
the most. Because in that one in particular, there's a lot of people that add, like they only do 4 fingers, don't they?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, they forget the very pinky and the very, very
They,
far
they,
back.
they only
Oh,
do 4
yeah.
fingers.
Mhm.
Like, alright, so it would be like, oh, let me tuck this pinky. And, like, they'll only be like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That-
Almost looking like a
that's
Ninja
cover
Turtle
up.
hand.
That's a cover up too. Her skin was horrible. That was like a 90-some-year-old lady. But
have you ever had
Damn.
anybody that bled
That's
on you
crazy.
really bad or anything? Like,
oh yeah, dude. I've had people that take medications and stuff like that not tell me and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Jesus Christ.
And I go in to do like a color piece on them. And color piece, you have to saturate a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't want to overwork the skin. But man, they don't tell me, and they will fucking bleed.
See, I'm dedicating this whole arm right here to my buddy down in Columbus, Studio Ghibli, and then this arm was supposed to be all Naruto, which
I do a lot of anime tattoos. I don't really post them.
I'll see.
But-
Let you check out the rest.
I've done quite a few of them. There's a dancer client that I have, and she's got her whole left arm is nothing but anime.
What have you done on her?
Some dude with a really big sword.
It sounds
Probably
like Bleach.
Ichigo.
That sounds
Yeah.
like Bleach.
Bleach.
Um,
Maybe Inuyasha. They could be
Yeah,
his.
so I have Naruto, so I have Manda, then Gamabota. I've drawn all this myself, and then Suitsu, and then Master Jiraiya, and then I have my ceiling symbol.
I've done that thing you got on your elbow before.
And the ceiling symbol.
Yeah.
All right. What do you think, though? That how he did?
I mean, I don't really know what it's supposed to look like. 'Cause like I said, I'm not an anime
Oh.
guy. But
Well, you did one, so I was curious.
it's been a while. It's been a while. Spirals,
Are hard?
they can be on. They're not as hard as a lot of people make them seem.
I know I fucked up my ML a couple times.
Yeah, there's a couple of spots on it that need to hit up, but it's not horrible.
No, I've definitely fallen on it and scabbed it up a lot. So I'm surprised it's not fucked up more.
Dude, mine fucking every once in a while. Mine
You don't
will
have
like
an elbow tatted yet, do you?
no, but like it'll be like this one. I think it might be the different ink because it'll be like this one and this one will like
Look brighter and vibrant, or
no, they'll like
raise up an itch.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's different
it's-
ink.
It's
Every
a
once
reaction.
in a while, yeah.
With different inks, it's hard to say sometimes what all the chemicals are in there. Now you can buy like vegan inks and shit like that. Some of them are good. Some of them aren't that great. Because it really depends on the person with ink, because there's like just different consistencies of ink. Either it can be, you know what I mean, like real like sludgy kind of and thicker, or it can be real thin and watery.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And depending on your tattoo style, you want to find how that goes.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
like which one holds.
What's
the
your
best and
opinion
shit.
on putting ashes in ink?
My opinion is it's pointless. Once you put, it's not gonna hurt anything. Ashes are sterile. You know what I mean? They burned off any contaminants or anything like
Because
that.
I know
So that's-
some tattoo artists are against it and some are for
some
it.
are, because you're not really supposed to do it according to health department, because they say that it's bad.
That,
for
I
you,
know
you
that.
what
I know that.
But I'm
It's-
telling you,
No,
like,
I didn't talk about health department wise.
okay, well, I'm saying like my perspective of it. Once you put the ashes in the ink, they're gonna sink to the bottom. So
Okay.
you're not really gonna get any ashes. You're just gonna be dumping a little bit in the ink. You're not really gonna get any ashes
Okay.
in your tattoo. I think it would be more effective, and they won't do this either. Like if you work in a shop, you're pretty much
Covered in
kind
dust?
of bound. You know what I mean? No, you shouldn't be. You should not be. You should be cleaning your station every in between and everything. So dust shouldn't be a factor. But no, I'm saying as far as getting ink or ashes into the tattoo, it would be more effective, I feel, to rub them in after. rather
After
than put them in the ink.
instead of what
in-
about before? Like if you rub the ashes in before,
Well, on your skin,
yeah.
well, your skin gets washed and cleaned and stuff like that.
Okay,
you
yeah,
know what
before
I
the
mean?
tattoo process. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Because I have ashes of my father in me in a tattoo.
Yeah.
I was gonna do it with my mom, so I was just gonna get your
Yeah.
opinion.
Like I said, it's when you put them in the ink cup, they're gonna
Yeah,
sink,
and they
they're
came
gonna
in
sink
cup
right
and they
to
get the
bottom.
toothpick and they mix it up.
Yeah.
It still all sinks to the bottom after that.
That's pretty much, yeah. It's so light, and the particles, you know what I mean, of ashes are.
I was
it's
curious.
Dust, you
That's
know?
that's a new opinion. Like
I think, like I said, I think that way, doing it after on your own would be more effective, honestly, because once you get tattooed, your pores are going to be open for
open and
for
then
a
it
minute,
locks it up.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, because when we're tattooing, as we're going over it, sometimes like you'll see with like shading and stuff like that,
Yeah.
it doesn't quite go in the first pass. Well, some of the first 2-3 passes, sometimes if you're lightly shading in, can just be opening up the pores and getting them ready to accept the shit. You know what I mean? And after the tattoo's done, your pores are going to be open for some time. You know what I mean? Your skin's so irritated.
See,
and
the
stuff
problem
like
I had, I don't even call it a problem. The mess up I did with the first 15 tattoos I had, 15 to 20, I rubbed A&D ointment all over it for a long time, and I heard this. Might be wrong. It pulls the ink out a lot.
I don't know about that personally. I use A&D ointment on all my tattoos. I've never had a
I'm
problem.
talking about like A&D ointment for weeks after.
I usually use it for about 2-3 weeks. Yeah. But I don't use excessive amounts. Like I use a small dab, and rub it in like it's a lotion.
I'm just talking about personal experience from what I guess like from what I've heard and from what I've experienced. Like my zombie and my Superman, like I rub A&D ointment all over one and like watch it peel off. Like entire layers of skin just peel off, and the ink go along with it. And then like I didn't use it for other tattoos, and it's just like more vibrant, I guess.
I mean, there's a lot of people that have different like aftercare procedures. You know what I mean? When you go to a different place, some people like some stuff. Some people try not to introduce petroleum into the tattooing, and there is petroleum in A&D ointment. Some people prefer Aquaphor. Some people I've even heard use like put cocoa butter or just some kind of unscented
I was
lotion.
probably coating it way too thick then.
Yeah, you don't want to coat it thick.
I coated it thick back then.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. Like I said, I use okay on this tattoo right here. When I got this, I used maybe the drop of like not even the size.
But that looks
not even
thick,
the size
that
of
looks
a
like
mark.
thicker ink than on the other side of your arm.
Well, these are just darker. This is fresher. This is an old tattoo. These are all about 15 years old maybe. And then I just got this last year. Maybe not even last year.
But I'm just saying, like, it looks, maybe it was because of sun, too. Sun.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in the sun constantly on the bike and everything like that. I get sunburns.
So it could be sun, too, that pulls the ink out.
Well,
but,
I
like,
mean-
I've just noticed that, like, you put a thick coating of A&D ointment on, from what I've heard and from what I've experienced, it pulls the ink out and layers it off. Like,
I'm just saying I don't think that's a proven thing.
it's not proven.
I don't think, I could be wrong, but I don't think that's a proven thing. But I mean, anything you do along your aftercare, depending on like if you work outside, you're exposed to the sun more. If you got a construction job and you're getting particles of dust in your shit, if you work in a factory or around cars, you're in grease and oil in the
I do
air,
believe
you know
that,
what I mean?
too.
Everything you do, if you're at the beach after you get a tattoo, that's going to affect how it heals. If you take a
I'm going to
bath,
roll one up tonight, too.
if you take a bath, that's going to affect it. You know what I mean?
Fucking
Because you're not supposed to submerge your tattoo after you get it done. You know what I mean?
I've
You're not
done that a
supposed to
couple
go
times.
swimming. You know what I mean?
Chlorine pools.
Yeah, everything's gonna affect it. You know what I mean? Your body washes and shit. If you get your body washes into it too much, my brother, he got a big old. Back in the day, he got a big old fucking hatchet man on his fucking forearm, and he washed it like
Talking
he
about
was
your
supposed
brother?
to.
No.
He washed it like he was supposed to, and a lot of the fucking color came out. You know what I mean? So it's some of it has to do with your skin. Sometimes people's skin is shitty. Like I've tattooed like, 60, 70-year-old dudes. Their skin takes fucking ink real well. And I've tattooed some girl on, what I mean, like her belly
Well,
that's had 4 or 5 kids, and their skin does not take fucking ink well. You know what I mean?
So I have this question to ask you.
There's so many factors.
Have you ever tattooed a person so wrinkly you had to stretch their skin
Oh yeah.
to tattoo?
Oh yeah. I tattooed this one old lady one time. I think she was like 87 or 88. She's getting her first tattoo ever in her life.
Oh damn.
And dude, as soon as
Good
I
for that
touched,
old lady.
as soon as I touched her skin, dude, I do have to stretch it. You know what I mean? You have to if you want clean lines. You got to stretch the skin.
Yeah.
And her skin was stretchy, but as soon as I touched her with that fucking needle, it's ever so lightly, bro, it just bruised instantly.
Oh damn.
Yeah,
That sucks.
And that's hard to go back over.
yeah. No, one pass. Skin like that, you're only gonna get one try. If you go over more than once, I'm gonna gash her arm open and she's gonna bleed a shit ton.
Yeah, right. You gotta have an old lady bleed out on you. Fuck that.
No, but I've heard old ladies say like, "Oh, if I knew tattooing was like this, I would have got them a long time ago."
Women tend to take tattoos better than men. That's not all the time. I'm saying that's just for the vast majority of time. I mean, I think they do have a little bit better pain tolerance. They definitely take rib tattoos better than men. Definitely take rib tattoos better than men. But then I've had some people that really doesn't matter sometimes, men and women. Seems like there's some people can fall asleep during tattoos, some people can't stand the way that it feels, but
Yeah,
still keep
yeah.
getting them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was always pretty good with them. Some of them just by like the end with the shading and shit to be like, all right, I'm ready to be done with this. But
The only time I've been like that is after a 4 or 5 hour session. Like, I've had 4 or 5 hour sessions. Like my Superman was supposed to get a bunch of white added into him, and I was just like, no. Like, you've already took like 4 cigarette breaks. This shit's sore.
I let a dude that I used to work with, he wanted to get into color realism, and he wanted to try his first piece, so I let him try his first piece on the back of my leg. I had him do Pennywise the Clown on the back of my leg. It took 12 and a half hours. It,
See how it looks.
It looks good. I'm not gonna lie. It
No,
looks good.
I'm gonna let you know the truth.
shit, fuck yeah.
Yeah, it looks dope.
Yeah, it just took too long because, you know, I mean, unfamiliar ground, man. Really. You
For realism, from a distance, and I didn't look it up at close or anything. Like,
I've looked at
how
it.
long did it take?
12 and a half hours. That's 1 20-minute lunch break in between. We stopped.
Just 1 20-minute.
We stopped for Taco Bell, and that was it.
I feel. I'm glad it looks good. He didn't fuck up a lot, in my opinion. But at the same time, those are the tattoo artists that I guess are getting the practice in, so they can do it for shorter time.
Oh yeah,
eventually.
Yeah. Well, I mean, shit.
Yeah.
The first time I did my first tattoo, man, it took forever, and it was a small nothing tattoo. I did a fucking little tiny rose on someone's leg. I forget. I think it was like my cousin or something like that. I did a little tiny, just black rose.
How did it end up? Did it look
I mean,
good?
yeah, it looked pretty decent for my first tattoo. The lines weren't shaky. It was
She still has it.
Well, it's a guy, but yeah, he
still
still has it. Yep, and I mean, I wasn't nervous with him because I was like, if I put him through pain, fuck him, he's my cousin, he'll kill him. You know what I mean? And that's honestly
Right.
one of the biggest things. You got that ashtray, bro? That's one of the biggest things to get over. You can't worry about people's pain. Like when I'm tattooing people, I don't give a fuck if they're in pain.
No.
Yeah, well,
it's
yeah,
not-
they know what the fuck they're signing up for.
So
Well,
you wonder
it's
my
not your
first
fault.
tattoo.
If I
They
consider it, I might make a mistake.
Right.
So my first tattoo
Yeah,
experience.
try to compensate and fuck it up.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense too. Yeah. Dude, I've had a couple people ask me what a tattoo feels like, and then get mad at me when I tell them it feels like somebody dragging a needle across your skin. And I'm like, dude, literally, I'm like, that's what's going
it's called
on.
rug burn.
It's not, I wouldn't even call it rug burn.
Rug burn's it's similar a little bit.
I'll tell you right now, I've had some fucking interesting experience with fucking clients, bro. Interesting experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Because I mean, there's an array of different kind of people that come into tattoo
Let's hear
shops,
one.
You know what I mean?
You ever
Okay.
have anybody pass out on you?
Okay. Since you brought that up, I got one for that. I was tattooing this girl. It was her very, very first tattoo, and I could tell she was anxious. She just wanted like a little word on her rib cage. I think she wanted like faith or something like that. You know, some generic you see on fucking, you know, Pinterest. You know what I mean? That's what they bring me a lot of, but it's fine.
Right.
But she was a little nervous and everything. I had her laying back in my chair and everything like that. I had it sitting up a little bit so she could kind of see what was going on. But and then, dude, as soon as I touched that needle down with her skin, I didn't even touch it long enough to like get ink in it. Like it barely scratched the surface of her skin. Like I swear, she skinned her knee deeper. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So she was.
No, as soon as I touched it, dude, she passed out and pissed.
Oh man.
She had to have been on some drugs or something. Like
No, she wasn't. She was like fucking 17, 18-year-old little girl.
Like I said, my dad did.
She was
the
with her
same thing
parents
once,
and everything
apparently.
like that. Yeah,
I get
dude.
it. I get it.
She was not ready for a tattoo. She was not ready.
I've seen videos of that and heard of stuff like that, but it just blows my mind because we all have tattoos and we go through a high pain tolerance, and just to hear something like that.
Some people have horrible pain tolerance. Horrible.
Dude, I was nervous as shit the first time I got a tattoo. My first one was the couch on my arm, and I was nervous as fuck. And then
Did you pass out like a pussy?
no, I was
Are you
glad I
bad, or
did.
you- I'd smack the shit out of you.
No, I've had people come in, you know, fucking drinking, try to get tattoos. One time, some dude fucking tried to rob us, bro.
What?
no,
Like got a tattoo got the tattoo first? And
No. Some dude, he just came in and he's like, he was like, fucking, I need tattoos right now. I need tattoos right now. He's like freaking out. And I'm like, this motherfucker's, he's zooted, you know what I mean?
Geeked out, yeah.
And I'm like, I was like, well, you're gonna have to set something up. Everybody's taken. I didn't know what everybody else had going on, but he's too far gone to get tattooed. You know what I mean? I was like, you're gonna have to set an appointment, come back. You know what I mean? We'll figure. No, I need tattoos right now. I gotta get it. It's life or death. I gotta get tattooed. I'm like, he's like, I need cover ups, and I'm like, well, what are you trying to get covered up? And he fucking pulls off his shirt, and he's got fucking a bunch of just fucking racist tattoos. Watch cover.
The white guy?
Cover him, yeah. And I was like, you gotta set something up. Somebody, like I said, he's fucking hiring a motherfucker. And I was like, well, we're not gonna do that today. I was like, you need to set an appointment, come back.
He sounded like he
and
he was guilty as shit.
And then he was like, he said something, I forget exactly what he said, and then he was like, well, I got a gun. And I'm like, so what, motherfucker? Me too. It doesn't fucking worry me and everything like that. And another girl came out the fucking back, girl I used to work with named Brittany, and she's like, what's going on? She hear him fucking yelling, and then gets in the middle of it, and then he fucking gets pissed off and shit like that. And then ultimately, he was big ass dude too, giant ass motherfucker. He's probably about 6'5".
No matter, he is
smacked. Oh, I mean, yeah, but I mean, he was so fucking cranked out of his mind, it probably wouldn't have fucking mattered. Actually, he fucking, after we fucking kicked him out of our fucking shop, he went next door to that fucking, you know where I work, right?
Yeah.
There's that fucking, that head shop next door.
Yeah.
Oh. He robbed the place. He tried to rob the
He
place.
went in there and then fucking said something to fucking the girl in there. I guess fucking like pulled a gun or some shit and started freaking out. So they fucking called the cops. And then he like barricaded himself in their fucking back room. He ran into their stock room and shit and like barricaded himself.
He was mentally
like,
unstable.
Oh yeah, dude, they fucking drug him out of there like hog-tied and everything like that, bro. Like,
damn.
That'd be
crazy.
as funny as shit. If, like, how funny would it? This is not actually funny, but how funny would it be? Like, you go in there, like how you just said, into the back and hog tie him, and then drag him out through the front of the whole store into the parking lot, and then put in the cop car. That would be.
well, they probably got it on camera. They got cameras.
Yeah, that'd be a good episode.
I'm talking about actual hog tying. You've
no,
not seen that on cops or anything.
Oh, they'll fucking throw cuffs on your ankles and then fucking the cuffs.
Yeah,
on
but
your
I'm
back,
talking about hog
they'll fucking
tying.
Oh, I mean,
Like
not around here. Not around here.
But
There are cops that still ride horseback that will do that shit, but
not around here.
not around here. No.
I lived in Tennessee where there's actually.
Yeah, I lived in Texas. There's had some of them there.
Yeah, I would think of Texas before I think of Tennessee for that shit.
All right, yes, Texas before Tennessee, definitely, but I would have to say it's still legal to get hanged if you steal somebody's horse.
In some states, I can. You know what? Maybe
You know that's still a law.
Maybe you shouldn't be stealing shit.
Yeah, right. I mean, I get that. I like a lot of what I hear out of Florida. You know, break into my house and I get to shoot shit out of you.
And
I
there's
mean,
the
I-
Florida,
I
Texas,
believe in that shit,
fucking
you know?
probably in New Mexico.
You should be able to fucking defend yourself. You shouldn't have to let somebody fucking
rob
do
you.
it, yeah.
Try to rob you.
Right.
Why do you have to have cameras set up?
It's just crazy. You ever tattoo like anybody high profile?
A celebrity.
Trying to think. Not really. Not well.
I've only tattooed one person, so.
I mean, I've tattooed people that like. I wouldn't say like no, like not actual like celebrity. No, that you heard of.
Yeah,
No,
right.
I
Like
wouldn't think
nobody
of.
that you're gonna be just like instantly
Denzel
recognized.
Washington.
Yeah, right.
No, nothing like that. I wish maybe
Keanu Reeves.
one day I'll achieve that status and I'll get there. You know what I mean? Maybe one day, hopefully, that would be cool. I hope my work can, you know what I mean, get to that level. You know what I mean? I've been to some of the tattoo conventions and met some of the more popular artists and stuff like that. Those can actually be a lot of fun. Tattoo conventions. Can actually be a lot
I've
of
not been to one, but the person that's tattooed on me and him, I've been is an award winner at tattoo conventions. So
Yeah, some of the tattoo conventions are, meh. And I'm not gonna really speak on that.
Yeah, right.
But
I can imagine.
when I go to them, I'll go there for the fun. I do enjoy them. There's a lot of people. There's also it gives you a chance to learn about a lot of new products that are out and everything like that.
I've always wanted to go to a tattoo convention, and you know how there's some tattoo artists that don't charge you to tattoo on you just as long as it's a part of their piece.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
the end,
Yeah.
I've wanted to do that.
Oh, do a portfolio piece for somebody. That's what that's called. Pretty much, you get no say in it whatsoever, and then fucking.
And you don't have to pay either. Like they just, it's part of their.
Yeah, some will do that. Some will do that. I've done that before. Yeah.
You got like a favorite piece that you've done?
All-time favorite. You love this.
Let me see.
So far, I've only had one, and it's my favorite. Did you ever get to see what I did on Marty? The hydrodynamic special with turbo attachments?
Huh. No, I didn't even know you did it on Marty. That's funny. That's super funny.
Yeah, I had, dude, when I was tattooing that, a dog was jumping on him in the entire time.
Oh, Marty's dog?
No, not Marty's dog. Somebody else's dog. We were at somebody else's fucking house that had all that shit. And I was doing a tattoo on him, and dude, his dog was jumping on him the entire time.
Does he got pictures of it on his Facebook?
Yeah, back a long time ago, probably.
Well, say you might find it first. I gotta say I'm fucking scrolling through here. What did you say it was?
Hydrodynamic special with turbo attachments.
Oh, from fucking the first episode of SpongeBob?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I did
how,
on him.
That's how SpongeBob gets hired at the fucking Krusty Krab. He goes and fucking Squidward makes up some bullshit and SpongeBob delivers. That's pretty fucking funny.
I don't know what my favorite tattoo is, to be honest with you. Sitting here looking at them. I have a lot of tattoos that I like, but I don't know as far as favorite tattoo. I'm not sure.
Hey, I was gonna say just from what I seen, like there's an ass ton of them. I don't know if I could pick a favorite one if I was doing that shit, cause those all look dope as shit.
I think honestly, the one that we looked at before, this one, doing that much, that saturated in that short of time that I did it.
Let me see
This
it.
mustard
That one?
barbecue sauce is pure Carolina gold. It's
Because that's a girl's thigh, so that's from hip to knee. That took about 7 hours.
I love how you did the flowers, the inside of the flowers, and everything. I love the skull all around here. The girl's face, like, I love it. You did fine definition. What?
Somebody's
Fuck
like
you.
a fucking professional.
No, I'm giving them my
tattoo
opinion.
I
critic.
mean, if he's
No,
if
fuck
he's,
you. And in my opinion.
if he's legitimate in art, you know what I mean? Like, if
Yeah,
he's-
I'm giving my
Yeah,
opinion.
yeah.
It's cool. I'm not. It's just you just. It's
I was
just
giving
funny.
my honest opinion.
There's nothing wrong with it.
I
You can give my honest opinion from my, and then he could.
I didn't say there was anything wrong with it.
Like you're legitimate.
I don't think he gets the art aspect of it. You know what I mean?
No.
Like,
I was adding detail if I was not like.
I didn't say you were wrong.
Sounded like it.
No, you just.
It sounded like it.
I get to hear you talk all the other times too.
Yeah,
That's all
and
I'm
I always
saying.
give my honest, blunt opinion.
No, I know. It's just, you're just getting kind of analytical here.
Analytical? I want you to spell analytical.
ANALYTICAL. Analytical.
Analytical.
This is on tape too, so if I just spelled that wrong,
So-
everybody fucking knows.
Analytical.
You have pretty good viewers for your.
All
I
right.
got-
Spell it again.
Analytical. ANALYTICAL.
Yeah, you spelled it correct.
See, I'm not a complete jackass most of the time.
That's if Google was telling me how to spell it right.
Google usually does. No, yeah, I don't know who the fuck be watching it. I only got like 17 people that are actually subscribed.
I've asked
But-
you not too long ago what's the most views on one of your videos, and you said like around 200 maybe.
I think it's still 110 or something like that.
He doesn't put it out there though.
Yeah, I would say I don't usually like I'll share it on my Facebook and stuff.
From what he's told
But-
me, he wants to build a really good base
Like a library.
library until he put it out there.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, I would say I'm not like sponsored or nothing. I don't advertise. I'm not like really trying to. This is nothing professional, obviously.
Yeah, rip cards in there.
What?
Rip tickets.
No.
Look like a rip ticket first.
No. Got a ticket for a motorcycle drawing. I'm trying to go to these bike nights and shit on.
Did you know there's a
Tuesdays.
motorcycle drawing at the Bay House every month?
Yeah. It's once a month. I was over there the other day. The last
Right.
one that was over there.
Maybe that's where I've seen you before because I've gone in there for sometimes.
I've been there that one time, and that was it. To be honest with you, dude, I've lived around here a few times, and I never knew where the bait house was. Never, not one fucking time. I am almost 35 years old. I did not know it was right there. My uncle used to work at the fucking fishery right there, bro. Used to go there every day. Did not know there was a bar there.
I didn't know where it was until a few years ago.
All right, so I have one hardcore memory from elementary school, and maybe like you knew the people that did it. I don't even care who did it now, but maybe you were there. But do you remember bullying people after elementary school?
Do I remember what?
Bullying people after elementary school.
Like in
The
junior,
high
junior
schoolers-
high or after the day?
Back in the day, while we were both in school,
Okay.
and bullying people after elementary school. Like usually, I don't know if it was a higher classman or even someone in high school. It might have been a higher.
I wasn't
Fifth,
around here
sixth,
in high school. So.
No. So like we were in our grade.
Okay.
There was one.
He's
Bumped out
he's
on us.
he's in our grade too.
Oh, he's in our grade too.
I
Yeah,
would've
ju-
been.
I
he-
thought you were a couple.
No.
He said 36 to 37.
No, I'm about to be 35.
He's a grade or two. He's a grade above us then.
No.
He's just older than us.
I got,
Oh no, well, I can use that excuse too. Like kindergarten didn't let me in kindergarten before I was because my cutoff line was October 3rd.
no, I got expelled, bro. So I had to repeat first grade. I'll be honest with you.
All right, so you weren't a part of those kids. So
No,
I
I
thought you were a grade or two above us.
No, I got kicked out of Toledo Public Schools.
So Toledo, like you got.
Yeah, and then we came to Fort Clinton.
I thought you were in Port Clinton before that. So you went from Port Clinton to Toledo.
I
to Port
moved
Clinton?
around my whole entire life.
So did I.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I was here. What? First and second,
Yeah,
and then I moved like towards the end of second.
yeah.
So
And
you
then-
wouldn't have been around for that then. Yeah.
And then I came back, but I didn't go to school around here towards the end of high school because my wife is from here. My wife is in
But you didn't go to
Young's
school for some reason?
No, I went to school sometimes, but
Fair
I graduated.
enough.
I graduated second in my class.
Nice.
Yeah,
So
I
you
graduated
came-
on time. Yeah.
So you came back to school when?
I didn't. I never came back. I never came back to this one at all. But I mean, I just went to different schools all around. I mean, I've
In
been
high school, where'd you go to high school?
mostly Patrick Henry, and then
Where's Patrick Henry?
and Deschler. Remember that?
Yo,
Oh, my bad.
yeah, I do remember. I remember going out there.
That was out. That was out in that. It's out in the middle of nowhere. I went to
Literally,
I went
In
to,
yeah.
Ohio?
yeah, it's in Ohio. I went to Patrick Henry, and then I went to Sylvania Southview. Got kicked out of Sylvania Southview. Tried to go back to Patrick Henry. They said no. And then I went to Napoleon, but they kept me in a little classroom on the other side of town. From
So you
the
never
school.
came back to Port Clinton High School at all?
No, my wife is from Port Clinton. She was in your guys' grade.
Who was she?
Alicia Burkowski.
I'd have to see a
I
face.
don't remember her. She's like my second cousin, like my mom's cousin's.
You guys
Like-
just lived down in Florida?
She's like one of my cousins, kind of like
No,
a second
no.
cousin or some shit like that. Yeah.
Has she always been hot?
Who? My old lady?
I'm not gonna lie, I probably maybe hit her up in the past and be like, "Hey, how you doing?"
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you don't know her.
No, I don't know her personally, but I think she's from another state somewhere. That's what I'm saying. It's one of your cousins or maybe married through somebody's. And
Do you know Kyle Wilkins?
No.
No.
I'm bad with names. I have to.
He would have been a little bit younger than you, but it's his older sister. I mean, but-
No, is what I'm saying is like she lived in another state and she moved back up here. And I was like, yeah, hey, she might have been with somebody, but I'd have to see.
Yeah. No, I got a bunch of cousins and shit that went to school with y'all, but
It was one of his cousins.
You remember?
So you dated one of his cousins. Your significant other is one of his cousins.
well, okay, no, okay.
Kinda.
When we
Kinda.
were-
That's
when-
just how I'm describing it.
When we were in first grade,
Do you know who I'm talking about at least?
No, I don't know who you're.
She
talking
lived down
about.
in Florida at some point.
no.
Oh,
My-
you're talking about Desiree. Yeah, it's not Desiree.
It's
no,
not Desiree.
No.
That's and she was kind of on the hotter scale, but she had a significant other or something, and she was like, "No." I was like, "All right, whatever."
No, my old lady lived here the whole time.
Who is she?
Alicia Rakowski.
I know an Alicia, but it's not Alicia Rakowski.
Yeah, I know you're probably.
It's
you're
not
probably,
Rakowski.
You're probably,
That's
yeah,
weird.
I was gonna say. I'm,
Fat ass, small
wait,
spinner.
what?
Alicia.
Oh, I didn't even tell you who I was thinking.
I
of.
said you said Alicia Rakowski. I said fat ass spinner.
Yeah, no, but I was talking to him while you were saying that. No, you're probably thinking of Alicia Ramey.
Yeah,
The short girl.
short girl, fat ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about. And she was small.
Yeah, I remember her. She was a bitch though.
She was a bitch, but she was nice. Like as long as you,
Yeah, but like she wasn't like fun to talk to or like hang
She wasn't
out
me.
around.
No, I know him. I don't really know a lot of people in Port Clinton anymore. That if I'm not related to, I'm not related.
that's why I was.
Yeah. I wish it was like that with me. There's just people.
If
that
we
I
all
didn't
went to the
know
same
around
grade,
here.
then we should have at least been in the same class at one point or another. Because I was here from kindergarten.
Well, it's not like we were fucking taking 6 different classes and skipping around in elementary school, bro. It was all just we were in one class, and if we weren't in the same classroom, we weren't in the same classroom.
Yeah.
I don't even think we were in the
Yeah.
same kindergarten classroom.
Probably not. I don't remember being in any classes with you, like in like school until high school. I just remember like hanging out with you at the trailer park, and I knew you.
Trailer
from
park,
being on
and
the-
I
on the
remember
bus.
hanging out with you out at the schoolyard.
Which trailer park?
Yeah, on the play in Meacham Grove.
Campground out towards Lacarne.
Okay, my old lady's from Lacarne.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
you know like
Where in
right
Lacarne?
where you get to
Railroad
the
Street.
schoolhouse.
Where's Railroad
The
Street?
very back one.
You know where the fire station is.
Yeah.
You go all the way. Like if you go to the fire station, you're like standing
Yeah,
there.
yeah, and you
you
take
just
a
go
left.
all the way to no. You just go all the way to the back.
Yeah.
That's
it's the
Railroad
road,
Street.
Right next to the
Right,
railroad.
So
yeah,
usually
right
the
on the
Right next to the
railroad.
railroad. It's railroad
So
street.
if you lived on the campground side,
She lived on there, yeah.
no,
Okay.
if I lived on, alright, so here's 163. If you lived on the campground side, all the kids played over here. While on the other side of the street, I went over on the other side of the street sometimes, but if you lived on the other side of 163, those kids all played with them. 163 was not a thing to mess around with, right? Growing up.
Oh boy, yeah, yeah.
That's why I learned growing up.
highway.
Yeah, don't go towards that way. Like you go that way, you're fucked up. It's pretty much what I learned. You go like from here this way.
Right. Go towards the water. Don't go towards the street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my parents were very lavish. Like they let me do what the fuck ever I wanted.
No, in high school,
That's different.
when I'd come up to see Alicia, we'd swim in that campground back there. Remember they had that little pool?
You're lucky you didn't get fucking nail hooks in your fucking feet, right?
I never swam or nothing back there. I was
My parents told me, like, if you want to get wet, like, we can pull out a hose or a pool, but, like, the campground, like, at where that marina is, if you call it a marina, it's kind of a marina, at that campground, you better be wearing shoes or something because...
No, they had a pool back there.
They have a pool in campground now. Back when I lived there, they did not have a pool.
Yeah, they had one. I mean, that was like, what, 12th grade or something like that?
Yeah, I was saying, so that's what, fucking, goddamn.
They didn't have a pool there
15
when I was
years
in
now?
elementary school through middle school. Like, I know exactly what you're talking about because I heard there's a pool there now. But there was no pool when I lived there. So
It was
yeah.
a tiny
Yeah.
little shitty pool, though.
I guess you
He's
could-
just swimming in somebody's pool in their backyard.
Maybe. Shit.
I mean, fuck,
When I lived here in
whatever.
fucking Port Clinton, bro, fucking when we were younger, we'd all go fucking pool hopping and all these like fucking little hotels and shit down here.
Mm-hmm.
We just hop the fence, we just walk up in there like we owned it and wait till they kick us out.
Yeah, right.
You want to talk about pool hopping? I got a story about pool hopping. So when I grew up, I lived down in Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, and Spearville. It's a very tourist town down in Tennessee. And one summer, me and my buddy Randy, everybody thought we were brothers. So there would be at least from one end of Pigeon Forge to, I don't want to say going into Sevierville, but the beginning of Pigeon Forge to the end of Pigeon Forge and semi into Sevierville, there was probably at least back when I lived there, more than 50 hotels. Hotels are small places that have pools. So one summer, we spent every day going to one pool to the other, getting kicked out, going right next door, going to that pool, getting kicked out, going to the next pool. And we did that for an entire summer. Until we could not do it no more.
Dude, I never got to do cool shit like that when I was growing up. Like, because I was always out, like, you know where my fucking parents live. Like, out
Yeah.
by Camp Perry. That's where I grew
They
up.
still
I
live
was,
there?
Yeah. I said
Yeah.
they're still in that same place. So I was never, like, around anybody. I was never, like, I couldn't just walk into town with the kids at
But
night.
it's also disappointing that like your parents weren't like, so you didn't have a boat to go out into the lake and go and fish whenever you wanted.
No.
Fuck
See, that's
no.
fucked up.
Fuck no.
Because you're this close, they were that close to the lake. You know how many rich ass families?
Well, we,
that
okay,
no,
we're on the lake, but also our closest access to the lake was a military base, so you can't
No,
just
that's
have, you
no
can't
excuse.
just have a
Can't
boat
just launch
back
a
there.
boat, yeah.
that's no excuse. That's kind of fucked up that
And
you're.
I'm pretty sure that's a good excuse.
That's not a good
We'll
excuse.
talk,
No,
you go
you're
play Donald Trump and
you're-
ask him what would happen.
No, 250 feet, 300 feet away from the lake, your parents should have had a boat.
I mean, we had 10 and 3/4 acres of
But I
land
can
and
relate.
a pond and shit and cows, so we didn't do the boat stuff.
So it really confuses me to this day. Really confuses me right now. Your parents live this close to the lake and don't have a boat, but they have a cabin down in southern Ohio, and it's beautiful as shit. Like really built up.
I'd rather have a cabin than a boat.
No, I agree. No, I cannot disagree.
That
But it
sounds like pretty sound
confuses
logic.
me. It confuses me that they never had a boat up here to enjoy the lake while you guys were younger kids.
I mean, I've lived up here for about 10 years now. Never thought about getting a boat.
Yeah,
But
right.
you know how many people have asked me, like, have you enjoyed your youth up here or enjoyed your time up here, and I've had to sit there and think like it was okay, yeah, but like you know how many rich ass people you hear say like we had a boat the entire time, we got to utilize the lake, go
But how many?
go fishing,
How many of our
go
rich
fishing
friends
out on a
did
boat,
that?
go fishing. How many times have you been fishing out on a boat on this lake?
I think just like once or twice. But all right, but all of our friends that had the rich parents that had boats weren't doing cool shit on the boats. Their parents were just taking them to the island and then letting them
At the
wander
same
around
time,
and
you
just
said
get
once
drunk.
or twice go out on fishing on a boat on the lake, but yet your parents have lived near than like 300 feet, but like probably like they live pretty close to the fucking
like
lake.
half mile.
Yeah, but never have had a boat, never nothing. But I can state the same thing. My parents didn't either. I'm not a rich ass fucking. But at the same time, if you live on the lake somewhere and you're rich, and you get to utilize the lake more, it's funner. Like fishing on a boat and doing other stuff on a boat is way funner than living near the lake.
If it was like the Boats and Hose music video, I would agree with
Yeah,
that.
right.
But I mean,
Dude,
if
I mean,
you're
dude-
up for that, I think it makes it more fun. Like me personally, I hate fishing.
Not just fishing, the other activities on a boat in general is sometimes funner. Like in general,
I think you're going like too star-studded movie view of like what it is to
not
be on
movie
a
view,
boat.
but like you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Well,
you say
well, yeah,
you've lived
it
this
can-
close to a lake now and been on a boat once or twice fishing. Like
Yeah, okay, but the
You can- you can agree.
the literal reality of it is you're sitting out in the middle of a body of water.
no, you're
In the
you're catching
baking
better
sun.
fish.
Well, yeah, but like
Not always
you-
in
you-
sun or either.
you-
Like
I don't know. I think you're trying to argue a point that's not like.
all
I don't know, man,
all I
it's
was
just-
stating is like when you live near a big body of lake like this and your parents have boats, it's funner utilizing the lake.
I don't actually know any. Maybe Drew. Drew, I think, was the only kid I know
He came in the other day with his dad
that
and he
had
recognized me.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. He is the only one I knew that had a boat, though. So it's not like all of our rich friends had boats and stuff.
I'm saying people that live near the lake utilize the lake more with boats.
Yeah, obviously. But, like, I mean, you don't have to.
And I'm just saying you get to have a better time on the lake than you do living near the lake.
I mean, I guess I can agree with that, but I also wasn't, like, just right on the lake, you know?
You're pretty close to the
I've
fucking
always
lake.
seen the lake and the bay as more of an obstacle rather than.
If you live 300 yards or more or less from the lake,
I live in
I
swamp.
come from a very poor family, so
Well, it's not
all I'm
that
saying is
Same here, but
Yeah,
I live in the swamp, bro.
Same.
And I mean, it just seems like the
I've
bay
lived in
and-
the swamp.
The bay and the lake is an obstacle. Like going over the bridge every day to get to work. You know, what I
Yeah.
mean? All that construction. It's possible.
Yeah, that
You're,
shit
you're
is
looking way
stupid.
past that. You're looking way past that. Like I lived in the swamp down in New Orleans, Louisiana, like down near the bayou. A swamp. All I'm saying is like the people around here. If you live 300 yards from the lake and don't have a boat, it's way different. This is what I'm saying. It's way different. If you live opposite that.
That construction is ridiculous right now, though. That should
Which
be pissing
construction?
on Route 2. All of that construction.
The bridge, and it's right
From
now. There's a bunch of
fucking-
construction on the other side of the bay over by fucking Sandusky. And everything.
Yeah, it's some
I thought you were talking
bullshit.
about maybe State Street. Because they have
That
not even
too,
paved that.
yeah.
They have not even paved that over yet.
Yeah, so they got like Buckeye Boulevard and State Street all tore up right now in Port
really?
Clinton.
They they replaced the water lines, all of State Street, from like fucking
They did.
Washington all the way down to the end of
Yeah,
State
they
Street.
did like 3rd Street.
They
and
replaced all those
fucking-
water lines and have not paved them over at all.
They just finished Perry Street right there next to fucking.
They did those,
the
like, how many
farm and
months ago?
stuff. No, they just finished it like last week. They
I'm
did
talking about
that.
State Street.
Yeah, but they probably won't pave it till they're done with all of it. Cause
This
they
is
got,
bullshit.
yeah, I know, but that's how those processes work. They're fucking
No,
stupid.
don't. That's because it's just getting ground up.
No, yeah, I know. But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's dumb that they're doing it that way, but that's how they're going to do it. They're going to finish putting all the lines in they're going to put in before they even attempt to fucking pave anything else. And it's probably going to be a shitty fucking pave job anyway, because it's Port Clinton.
Honestly, I think they should go back to the old brick road they still got in front of the firehouse.
Yeah,
I think they
right,
should do the
yeah,
whole
right.
time. They've never
Fix that
maintenance
shit
that. They've
up.
never maintenance that shit, dude. It's still drivable, bro. It's some of the better road here in Port Clinton, bro.
That's
They
true.
just do it through the whole fucking city, bro, and never have to fucking worry about it ever again, dude.
Yeah.
I haven't
wanna
seen
do
them
another
fucking
shot?
retouch that road since I was fucking
Yeah, I'll
kid.
do another one. Yeah, dude, I agree with that. Like, I could get behind that, because they don't do shit to fix nothing.
It doesn't need fixed though. You know what I mean? It's just
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I can get behind that if they're gonna.
seems like them old.
They put
brick
all that
roads,
brick in, and
yeah.
then they don't never have to do it again.
Yeah.
I could get behind that.
Yeah, it
'cause-
seems like the old brick roads they last longer. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
And I
just
don't know
well,
why
shit, I mean-
they tore half of them up.
they probably use subpar materials now, though. They
Right.
use bricks
No,
that's not as good.
did you not see? Did you not see the water lines that were coming out of on fucking Third Street?
No, I didn't see any of the ones they
The
filled out.
the water lines that were coming out of Third Street were wooden.
well, fucking. I mean, they got
Do you know how wooden water lines were run?
horribly.
Yeah,
All right, let's just say this is a straight line. A straight line, like there's a straight line. Wooden water lines were built like
straight line.
no, they
I'm just fucking, dude. Keep talking.
no the water lines were built like triangles or diamonds. They were built wooden this way, wooden that way. They were diamonds, like so. The water lines that were pulling out on Third Street were wooden, and they were like I was all like.
I would say I don't think I've ever seen them do water lines anywhere.
They've been doing the water lines here in Port Clinton for a while. It's the big fucking lines they're laying down right now.
No, but well, that's what I'm saying. Like this, like I'm
First
fucking
time
well,
since,
yeah,
like,
since,
probably, like,
since I ever remember.
60, 70 years, yeah.
Yeah, I gotta say I can imagine they need to do that shit. But that's what I'm saying. Port Clinton just seemed to let everything go until like it's like the worst landlord, man. You just let everything
if
go
it doesn't
until
have anything to do with the tourists in the summertime, it don't matter.
Yeah, right.
You know, in my
That's
opinion,
true too.
you know when Port Clinton started going downhill? When they took the trains.
Quick, when Joe Biden got elected.
No, it was downhill before that.
It was
I
downhill.
know.
When they took the
I mean, I
train,
didn't help.
when they took the train depot out of Port Clinton.
I'll be honest, bro. I didn't even know we had a train depot. I didn't know what that. We had a train depot here.
There used to be one in Oak Harbor too.
Really?
There used to be a place
That's
in
crazy.
Portland near Bell Mouse where you get on the train and go either way.
Oh shit! I didn't know that.
To be honest with you, I think it fucking started going to shit when they closed that bakery down over there.
Oh, that was after that. Are you talking about City Bakery?
Yeah, dude, that bakery was shit.
Remember the bear claws?
Yeah, now it's
Dude,
an insurance fucking company.
Go in there and get like brownies and cinnamon rolls and shit like that. I used to eat it. I used to have family members that lived above it for a little while too.
I lived above there.
It was like Gory lived up above there. One time I went over to this motherfucker's house and he had a weird neighbor. And like I was standing there, I knocked on his door and I just happened to look over at his because his neighbor's front window was right there, and I could see right through the little fucking thing in the blinds. And this motherfucker's watching some she-male porn. Just watching fucking dude getting his
remember you
butthole
telling me
railed
that
out.
now.
Yeah, dude. I was like, what the fuck is happening right now?
So when I thought someone was breaking into my apartment, like way after that.
Was it just that dude?
No, they like I was like he has a camera pointed.
Oh
to my
yeah,
apartment.
yeah, that dude. He
I was
did
like, he
have
has a
cameras everywhere.
He had a camera pointed to my apartment, and he was like, "Yeah, I don't have any footage of that. I don't know what you're talking about."
He probably didn't have it pointed to your apartment. He probably just had it there, and he was like recording himself beating off every day. Probably. He's
No.
like on Omegle, talking to little kids and shit. Probably. That dude was weird as fuck looking. I wouldn't put it past him. Like, I'm judging pretty hardcore right now.
I
but-
never judged him back in the day other than when he told me he didn't have any footage in my apartment. And I was like, you're fucking lying.
Yeah, I heard you like, I know you do, motherfucker. You should have fucking
Because
slapped
he
him.
had, like literally, this is his apartment door, and this is my apartment door. He had a big window from this to this, and he had a camera set up to where it was his apartment door and my apartment door. And I said, there's people trying to break in my apartment. I don't know for what reasons. It could have been for good reasons, bad reasons, blah, blah, blah. But, like, he was like, I have no footage. And I was like, you're lying.
Dude, when I lived in Bowling Green, I had a neighbor, and he was trying to become a professional wrestler. He was actually pretty cool, though. I ain't gonna lie. He was. Can't remember his name. I don't know if he ever fucking did make it to professional wrestling. But he had, like, a pretty cool fucking, like, gimmick and shit like that. And I was like, fuck. I'm not a big wrestling fan, per se. You know what I mean? But I was like, hey, homie. You do you, bro.
Right?
He would tell me shit about it, you know. He was like fucking. He was like, met Sting, you know what I mean. I know the old school
Yeah, I was
wrestlers.
gonna say, that's the,
I know the
yeah,
old
right?
school wrestlers. Yeah.
That's pretty fucking
I was
sweet.
like, that's cool, you know what I mean.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, I'm the same way. I couldn't tell you a lot of the newer stuff that's happening.
I couldn't tell you shit.
Yeah.
The women's women's moves have become more awesome. Like I was disappointed in wrestling when bras and panties got taken out of the situation. Like women's wrestling, I was like,
I mean, they still pretty much dress like that. But
no, they've created moves.
Yeah, they do more sophisticated shit, but they still dressed in tiny fucking...
No, there was bra and panty matches, and it was awesome.
Oh, yeah,
I know
they don't do that shit no more.
Yeah,
they don't do,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
the
I do
mud
remember
wrestling and cool
Yeah,
shit
but,
no more.
the bra and panty matches
The
were,
Attitude Era was different.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
but there's been moves, not that the women are more covered, but at the same time, there's moves now that you're like, oh shit, what the fuck?
Yeah,
You're
they actually
watching
got
wrestling.
they actually got them doing stuff instead of just lightly pushing each other to make their titties flop around.
Yes.
Which I think is, it's equally as enticing, There's definitely
I mean-
a different audience for it now, They don't,
I mean,
not
it's-
everybody
it's,
just
you know,
wants to see
A
that
lot,
now.
a lot of that wrestling stuff it's more, it's TV, so it's a lot of PG stuff.
Performative stuff.
Yeah, and I mean,
You
it's,
gotta
it's,
be
it
able,
is more
it's like
athletic.
you gotta have it family friendly so
Yeah,
more people can
it's
see
more
it.
athletic and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Yeah, right. I was say that kind of wrestling versus real wrestling is.
I don't know if it was true or not, but I seen something about WWE and UFC getting together or something like that.
What?
I think they do have like a partnership going on right now.
Yeah.
I'm
I
pretty
haven't
sure.
seen anything about that.
Yeah, that happened. I think like in 2023 or something like that. Dana White and Vince McMahon made a deal or something. I don't know
but
if it ever
nothing
went. I
has
don't,
shown since it.
Yeah, no. I don't know if anything ever came about it or if like they actually went all the way through with it. But it was supposed to be
I gotta
just
take
like
this.
a merger or something. Yeah, fucking. Because that shit made me kind of nervous too. Because I be watching UFC all the time, and I'm like, man, I don't want to see this stuff. But we would make jokes about it too. You talk about all of a sudden you're just gonna see somebody come out from under the octagon with the fucking chair, start smacking people in the middle of real fights now.
Yeah, it definitely get some fucking views. It definitely would. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I like the sportsmanship of the UFC. I do. Wrestling, I ain't got no problem with it or anything like that. I just,
Yeah, Jose, it's just not, I don't know. When I was younger, I watched it, but I think that was just more because my grandpa always had it on. I couldn't just be like, nah. So it was just, I'm like, I was never a big follower of it. But once I got into the UFC, I've been following that pretty steady
Yeah.
since like 2010. It was like right the end of senior year and shit. I started watching them with my brother.
Yeah.
You be watching them at all?
I'll catch like some of the bigger fights, but not like religiously or anything like that.
Yeah.
I couldn't really name a lot of the fighters or anything like that. I got one of the UFC games; it's pretty cool. But I spend my time, on my bike most of the time, or fucking fixing them.
Hell yeah.
I have to, so it's fucking
Keep you busy.
yeah. And
Yeah,
then
yeah, that's always good though.
and then I got Alex and Alicia and shit. So
I've been fishing a lot. I would say you said you didn't like fishing. I was like, oh, that sucks. Dude, I like going out and just fucking. I'll sit out there too. Like the other
With
day,
his rod.
yeah, in my hand the whole time. And I was out there the other day with my son, and he was like, we weren't catching nothing. We had been out there for like an hour and a half, and he's like, well, are you ready to go? I was like, fuck no, dude, I could just sit out here. And he had talked me into leaving. But I ended up going back out fishing that same day. Just brought him back home and then went back out.
Well, you live fucking boom right there. So.
Yeah.
You
I'll be
ain't gotta worry
going
about
down. I'll
finding
be
a
going
parking
down
spot
behind
for
Brands
them,
there, over
You
by,
need to
like,
buy a
Mr.
boat.
Ed's. I don't know because that's too much, bro. I can barely afford living in this bitch sometimes. I don't
I'm
need
not
a
talking
boat.
about boat. I'm talking about like something you can pull with
You
your
get
car.
like one of them boats they got, like one of them they got in like video games where I can put it in my pocket and just like bust it out and fucking. I need one of them boats. You fucking-
Dear Lord, give us one of all those boats.
Like, it'd be cool if, like, Pokeballs were real. Like, you know, they're like little fucking apartments for the Pokemon. So if
Can
you
you
could have,
imagine
like,
just catching every? No, that'd just be like
So you
that'd
have,
be like
like-
Dragon Ball Z. You have like a little capsule.
yeah, you just get a Pokeball for your, like, dog or cat or whatever. It's like your dog house or your cat house. And you got their Pokeball. And
That'd be
then
a-
you don't need to worry about fucking them
But what if
fucking
you
up
just
your
forgot
house
about
and
them or
shit?
lost them or something? Like you just like, I lost this Pokeball in a dump.
I mean,
That'd be
you're
fucked
gonna
up.
you're gonna get
That'd be fucked
Cause-
up.
Yeah, it would. But
Nobody's ever thought about that though. Like you had a Pokemon, and then you got put in the trash accidentally, and then it got buried away in a dump in a landfill somewhere. That Pokemon is never going to be able to come out of its Pokeball.
Yeah, I would say, what happens to the Pokemon after the Pokemon trainer is like done? Like
Sometimes they release them.
Yeah, like
they
what
re-
happens?
They
what
release
happens if
them
they
or
die?
send them on to somebody else. They give them to somebody else. They release them. There's happy stories like that, but like, yeah, the Pokeball that got stashed away in a box and then got put up in the fucking attic and then just got lost for like 20 years. That sounds like Hunter.
Dude, that would be fucking vicious. It's a good thing Pokemon aren't real, because that would be like terrible horror stories. You know, people would be fucking shitty
Coming
with
across
that.
a Charizard in your attic.
Open a
That'd be like
Pokeball and
Jumanji.
a fucking skull pops out.
That'd be like
Well,
Jumanji.
Jumanji, he was in a world, you know what I mean?
Yeah, right. I would say at least he could like get food and shit.
Well, he was in a jungle.
Yeah.
Robin Williams was in a jungle.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're not stuck in like a little miniature apartment.
Is that how it's supposed to be?
That's always what I imagine it's supposed to be. But then I also think like, are
He was
they
around, like,
are they
12-ish.
shrunk or are they just like stuffed in there? You know?
In Jumanji, it's just a made up world.
No, not in the Pokeballs.
In the
Yeah, no,
Pokeball.
I know Jumanji.
I would be like it's like Genie's lamp.
Oh, that'd be terrible then. That's like fucking animal cruelty or something.
No, because it's
That's gotta be a war crime because you're using them to fight. That's basically.
That's not what I'm
that's
saying. Like, you were
basically-
talking about the
You're
inside of
in-
their lamps, and then you went to
you're-
war crimes.
Well, yeah, but the whole thing about Genie's lamp is it's supposed to be cramped and it's terrible. Like he makes a big point about it. That's why
Well, I
Aladdin
mean,
wishes him free. So if the inside of the Pokeball
You were just
like,
talking about though from the inside of their lamps, like how big is the space that they're supposed to live to war crimes.
yeah, because if it's that little,
He's saying
like,
if
you're-
if they're cramped in it, you know what I mean?
yeah, you got a Pokemon
there-
that's cramped in that
It's
ball
not
like
a
that,
cramped space,
and
though.
you're
It's
using
like-
them to
it's
fight
like-
each other.
It's
That's
like
gotta
us
be
in
a
a
war
room
crime.
like this, and then we get released to a big another space.
Wouldn't that be some shit if we were all just in a big Pokeball? We're probably in some kind of simulation though, for real.
Well, I
There's
mean-
never been one Pokemon that have housed 3 Pokemon though. Not that I know of.
They say if they fucking introduced AI to No Man's Sky, they could become self-aware, and they
It's like
could be
Sims.
living. They could be. Well, do you know what No Man's Sky is?
Yeah.
I never
planets and
played
shit
it or
are on
nothing.
there. No, I mean there's like 80
It's an
billion
RPG
planets, you know
that
what I
like
mean?
it's like multiple worlds.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like super expansive or something.
Oh,
just
super.
a lot of shit.
Oh yeah, you can go to every world is super different and everything like that, and it's an entire universe on a game. So I mean, they say if you could fucking introduce
You
AI
put like an
to
AI program inside of
they
it.
could become self-aware.
Dude, that would be fucking crazy.
But how do they know? How do you know that somebody hasn't done it to us already?
Yeah, right. Like maybe we're the AI fucking program that is being self-aware. You know.
We have a lot of stupid detail then.
Well, but I mean,
So does that
wouldn't-
game.
Yeah, I would say, wouldn't you expect
No,
that?
no.
Like, shit.
It's
There's
just
a lot more stupid
different
detail
levels
than
of
I'm-
software.
Yeah.
Because then you break it down to the civilization scale. We're not even a 1 on the civilization scale yet. So I mean, if another advanced civilization had a better AI program than us,
And I'm not saying there hasn't been. We have movies to prove it, like The Matrix.
I don't think movies prove it though.
No,
I
movies-
think movies just prove that we can aspire to what.
From what I've been taught, like movies are, if it shows you anything, then it's been created or done.
I mean, you can make it look like it. I don't know about everything being already done.
There's some kind of lore
Because
behind any fact.
at that point, you're
There's some kind of lore behind any fact. So if we've been shown in TV series, movies, anything in the past up to now, it's already been done.
I don't get what you mean.
yeah.
If it's been shown in movies, like anything you've ever seen in movies or series, it's been done before.
In real life,
All
Is that
right,
what you mean?
bro.
Yeah.
Iron Man never saved the real New York from a nuke, though.
Not that in particularly. I'm talking about technology-wise.
Iron Man is nanotechnology.
Technology-wise, not. Yes, Iron Man technology-wise has probably already been done.
I mean, maybe. I feel like you'd probably see it if it was really done.
All right.
'Cause if it was-
if you can't feel the wind, is it not there?
But
That goes along with that.
well, no, but you don't think like if any military had like a functional Iron Man suit, you don't think they would like display that shit?
You
you think-
being all right. From what our first conversation,
I don't think they would. I don't. No.
No, you don't think we would see it at all?
No, we wouldn't because
feel like they would
the
make a
wars
fucking
the
fleet
wars
of
and
them.
crimes that are going on right now are really petty to the technology that we have. For a
Dude,
true fact, the wars and crimes that we're talking about right now in like Ukraine and who's bombing us? Who's being bombed right now? Fucking
Israel.
Jerusalem.
and Iran.
Israel and Jerusalem are being bombed right now. Yeah. You don't think we have technology to not just stop that?
Well, I mean, obviously not effectively, because they're still doing it.
It was because we're not helping. It's not in our best interest. It's not in our... All I'm saying is, no, before that. Way before that. If you see anything on any type of movie or series, like an idea or scientific discovery, we've already discovered it now. That's what I think, but they don't want us to know. For 100% fact right there.
So you're trying to say like we hit our most advanced technology?
No, not right at the moment. No, it's always ongoing and stuff changes. Stuff always changes. People's thoughts change. Butterfly effect. But if you've seen it in a TV series or a movie, we've already known about that technology. At least to a point.
Yeah, maybe some of it.
Some of it. I think.
I'm talking about anime.
Some I think is theoretical. Some I think, you know what I mean, can be derived off of something we have now that could be, maybe more advanced in the future. Because I mean, like, what was it? Fucking the idea for like video chat or something have to do with sucking cell phones came from fucking Star Trek. You know what I mean? They're little
Right.
communicators or however they did it. You know what I mean? I don't know if it is a direct one, but you can look it up. But I don't know if it was a direct cause of it. But I mean, it was definitely, you know what I mean, shown that shit we see in the movies maybe can even spark an idea for somebody else to make it possible in the future.
So
Yeah.
just think about the reverse of that.
Well, I mean, no, I wouldn't think of everything in the movies that we thought of already. Because, I mean, okay.
Is already a technology that we just hidden away for a millennium.
Oh, I mean, I guarantee you there's technology they hid away. Definitely. But,
so it's
but I don't-
deriving it
But I don't
off-
think it would match up with movies. That's all I'm saying.
So what I'm saying is, like, everything you've seen in TV series and movies, we've already had hidden away.
I don't know about everything though. I mean, you're so
No.
insistent on this everything we've seen, but I don't think it's that way. There's probably shit we've seen in movies and stuff that they can really do that they haven't told us they can do. But I don't think everything that everybody's
Like-
just making up in
Okay.
these movies is just
For
like,
ins-
yeah,
for
they can
instance-
do that.
For instance, in the movie Interstellar, when dude goes into the black hole, I don't think we've ever gone into a black hole. The perception of that is, you know what I mean?
Beavis and Butthead, they went into a black hole.
There's been lots of instances where, you know what I mean?
So I can bring another example from Stargate SG-1. If you're closer to a black hole than most planets, everything times moves slower.
Well, that's just relativity. Yeah, gravity and time are dependent on each other,
Yeah.
but that has nothing to do with.
Yeah, I think they
Technology.
probably knew that before they made Star Trek.
Stargate.
So same thing.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
I don't know the difference.
I know the difference. So
I
I'm gonna
was-
say fuck
I-
you.
I think I kind of know the difference, but
Star Trek probably did the same thing. I'm not gonna say that. I'm sorry. But Star Trek might have did the same thing, and Stargate SG-1 copied it.
I remember Stargate SG-1, but I never watched it. I remember watching the like commercials for it. The opening was pretty cool. I remember.
But there was
Then
a
I would
movie.
never
There was
watch
a
the
movie,
show.
like a Stargate SG-1 movie, and
Yeah.
then there was a series, and then there was a couple of years series after that. But like, I don't know what you've seen.
Well, this is when I was a child, so
So it's probably the
Mid-
movie.
mid-90s.
It's probably the movie.
no,
Then.
it was a TV series because it was always
Mid
on.
'90s. All right, then yeah, you probably seen Stargate SG-1, 2, or 3, or 4.
Yeah, I don't know. I would watch the opening because it was cool, but I never watched the actual show. I would always go watch like Power Rangers, Beetleborgs, and shit.
Well, I got integrated that plus all.
That's fine. That is whatever. Fucking what the hell? I forgot. Oh, we were talking about crazy fucking technology. I don't know, man. I think
Sorry.
Lost your
I think there's a lot of weight to the whole idea that a lot of the shit we think is like alien technology is probably just stuff that our government or world governments are working on.
Well, I
Like
to-
these drones that people are saying are UFOs and shit is probably just stuff that like military drones that are new.
You're fucking
Like-
what?
Dude, come on, you.
I'm gonna call you
seriously?
crazy. Just repeat what you just said. Like
What, you remember the drones flying over fucking
Ukraine.
no.
Which country?
this one when they found that big ass drone flying
I don't
over
care
fucking
about
New
those
Jersey?
drones.
No,
Those are
but
probably U.S. drones.
that's what I'm saying. But I feel like a lot with a lot of stuff. Like people hear about UFOs and shit like that, but I feel like a lot of that's probably just the government. Like be it our
You're
government.
fucking
or
high.
fucking-
You're
I
fucking
am
high for that
Well,
statement.
Dude, we're on camera smoking 3 blunts. Of
Yeah, you're
course
high
I'm
for that.
high.
You're high for that statement.
You don't think any government anywhere has like crazy fucking ships?
Yeah.
So like, how am I crazy for it then? I just feel like a lot of that stuff.
I didn't say
like,
you're crazy for it. I said you're high.
You just said that.
I said you're high, not
That-
crazy.
You did say that too. I'm pretty sure you said I was crazy. I'll have to watch it later.
Alright, no. I might say you're crazy too.
Dude, I feel like there's a good portion of that shit that's probably just government experiments. Like, it's probably not just a bunch of aliens.
I swear to
crash
God,
landing.
if I find out you're a government experiment,
Dude, if I'm a government experiment, I am the shittiest experiment that has ever been. Like, if I'm a government experiment and I'm not
I
out,
give you a solid B minus.
I don't have fucking...
I give you a B minus.
I don't have... For what? Like, what?
For being a government experiment, I give you a solid B minus.
What are the what are the credits here? What am I getting a B minus on?
Everything.
What's my performance rating?
I already
here?
marked
Like,
you
I
as a
don't
B
know.
minus.
What is the scale?
Yeah,
You know?
right. I don't know.
I already marked it in different categories and everything like that, so you get a B minus.
I mean, whatever, I guess. Fucking...
Love you.
Homo.
Yeah, whatever. You're gay.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know, man. I was just talking to Curtis about some aliens yesterday. I don't think there's gonna be like real alien life forms anywhere. Like, I don't think if we ever discover life anywhere in the
Like
universe,
a Rick and Morty experience?
yeah, I don't think it's ever gonna be anything like that.
No, you think we're the first civilization?
No, I just feel like anything that's out there at this point, like for us, is probably just gonna be like bacterial remnants of shit.
Okay, well,
What?
I mean, are you aware?
You're a very negative person, then.
Are you aware? Are you aware of the scale that we have even searched yet? Really?
Yeah, it's like less of
tiny.
the ocean we have
Okay,
on
it's
Earth.
tiny. Okay, imagine if you're standing on all.
You're right.
in
That's
front
what
of-
you're talking about, right? Like a quarter of a less of the portion we have of the water on Earth.
Okay, if you're standing in front of all the water in the world, okay, and you fucking take a spoon and dip the spoon into it, that's how much of the universe we've maybe
Discovered.
discovered.
That's fair.
Hey, you're so okay. Just because there's no life in that spoon doesn't mean there's no life out there.
So you have this
Well,
spoon.
no,
you have this
that's
spoon,
fair.
and imagine this room.
But so unless we're gonna be able to like unless we get to the point where we can travel those distances, like
We haven't
Not in our
instantaneously-
fucking lifetime.
Yeah, right.
It has happened in our lifetime, not just our lifetime, but the lifetime before it. Because this Earth, in my belief, has been restarted like 6, 7 times, like 5, 6, 7 times. This Earth has went through a process and then restarted and went back to the very beginning. And it's already happened like 5, 6, 7 times.
But
don't
I
know
just-
about that.
I just don't feel
You
like
don't know about that one?
No. I mean, I've heard about the theory of it. I just
Like Atlantis. We all not 100% agree, but like Atlantis.
is that like part of like the flat Earth belief or
No, just Atlantis. Like
no. I'm not talking about Atlantis. I'm talking about the Earth restarting thing.
No, it's not have anything to do with the flat Earth.
Okay.
Let's just say it's been an Earth the entire time, but it's been restarted like 5, 6, 7, 8 times, just from apocalyptic events and people doing things they have to do. Not even people, just.
well, right. I'd say this planet's been hit by fucking meteors countless times.
An Earth restarting event. I've heard it's been started like 6, 7, 8 times. That's just a theory. I'm not saying it's mine.
Are you talking about like extinction level events, like great floods,
Yeah.
asteroid strikes,
And
like
somehow
volcanic eruptions
it
and
restarting
stuff like that?
even.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean that's a proven thing. You know what I mean? There's millions of years of things to date that. You know what I mean? There's the Jurassic, the Triassic periods. You know what I mean?
So
They all
this
went off
Earth has
and
been
died.
restarted 6, 7, 8 times.
I'm not sure what the exact number it is.
That's
Yeah.
from what I've heard.
But I mean, as far as the world restarting, I don't know. I mean, that's kind of just how it evolves. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's just kind of how it naturally works. Shit like
But
that's gonna happen.
if you were a smart civilization, and even in the beginning, for the first 2, 3, 4, 5 years, you learn to adapt to that.
well,
You
like,
become
but that's-
paranoid. You become adaptive. Even in the second, third, fourth generation, you
I think you're missing the scale of it. I think here, because it's like you're making it sound like it was quick. Like it didn't
It was
take
not
just
quick.
it didn't take like 2, 3, 4 generations. It took like
billions of years.
2, 3, 4 billion generations.
but they become adaptive to big.
But there
burrowing.
there wasn't like big animals and stuff all the time. Like
Yes, there was.
No, not
I think so.
not
No,
all the time.
No, not all
Like
the
all
time.
the shit had to evolve, and like the organisms eventually adapted into these forms.
What if
You're,
the-
you're thinking of the like the primordial soup where we came from like bacteria
Yeah, like-
and then developed into like
No, I
small
don't think
minute
that way
things
at
and
all.
stuff like that. That's
That was
I'm
like,
saying that's
that
what
was like
he's talking
way
about.
back.
No, like that happened at the very beginning of Earth, yeah. But after generations, like there were such marsupial animals that it was so large not to get rid of.
Well, I mean, a lot of the larger animals died out honestly because our oxygen quality isn't the greatest as what it used
Yes,
to be.
I have to
And
agree.
food,
In the past
food
5
sources got a lot scarce when all of like the because I mean things like drought and famine, you know, I mean they're kind of a recycle. They're kind of a.
But you have to
repeating
agree this
cycle, you know
planet
what I
is
mean?
mostly made of water.
Well, yeah, it's 70%
So-
water, bro.
Yeah, so most of the nutrition comes from underwater.
Actually, a lot of oxygen comes from underwater too.
Yeah.
They've actually found
say
underwater
that, but
oxygen
yeah.
spouts.
Yeah, actually, I
I
think
said nutrition, but and like a lot of like food comes from underwater.
Well, yeah, we use our oceans for that. You know what I mean? We fish them and everything like that.
yeah,
Um,
animals eat animals.
yeah,
Bears eat salmon.
yeah.
But it's crazy though, because salmon don't eat nearly as many bears. Oh hell, that's fucking awesome.
Do you know Bears derive their name from a football team in Chicago?
Oh, that's great.
Do you know that?
I'm just happy that there's no like megafauna around like there was back in the day, because some of the shit they see makes
Talking
it'd
about
be
plants
scary
that
as
eat you.
shit. Nah, megafauna like fucking woolly mammoths and giant fucking animals.
Well, we'd
and
be
shit.
smart enough to take them down. What are you talking
Like
about?
saber-toothed tiger.
yeah, right.
Dude, as the human still have it.
I mean, yeah, we were able to take them down back then.
Yeah,
But you know
if
what I
we
mean?
weren't
Not
able
before they
to take them
fucking
down,
mauled one of us
I
to
thought you was
death.
talking about. I thought you was talking about Jumanji, like plants eating
No.
and shit.
No.
Just like bigger fucking scale
No,
animals.
we'd be
you know
able
what
to
I
take them down. Why?
Like
what are you
dire
talking
wolves
about?
and
Even if
fucking-
there was an apocalypse, people would still.
Yeah,
be
we
able-
could take them down now, but like we could take them down back then. You know what I mean? When they're just standing there, like stabbing at the fucking woolly mammoth with some fucking spears and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But I'm
We-
saying he's saying it'd be a hell of a lot easier now than we're not getting stomped and mauled because all we got some pointy sticks. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
We don't have
you know them cave paintings they got where they show like 4 or 5 people standing around stabbing the mammoth
Yeah.
and shit like that. But like they're not painting in all the 17 other dead tribe members that it took to
Right,
get
well,
that
like
fucking
one of them that got
animal
his
down.
legs stomped.
That
off,
was
fucking
back
shit.
then.
Yeah, that's
now.
what I'm saying.
Like if you're gonna take down one of those, you're gonna have to sacrifice a couple guys.
I think you'd have to
Yeah.
sacrifice a couple people for that shit now. Be honest, like
No,
if,
I don't
if
think
a
so.
fucking saber-toothed tiger just showed up, it would
All
definitely.
right, all right.
be
If
like-
Kai was out there on the battlefield, what would you think?
Well, I mean, he's 11. So
Yeah, but he's out. He's 11. He's old enough to be a man back then.
This is not back then, though. I don't know what you're scoffing about. I don't know what.
No,
you're...
if Kai was out on the battlefield, would you be out there with him trying to scuff down that fucking mammoth?
Yeah, but I don't know where you're going with this. Like, I don't know what your point is. Like, what?
Well, the
what
point
are
you
we-
were making before that, like anybody out there would like give up.
I didn't say anybody would give up. You don't think that fucking those animals killed a bunch of them people? You think every single time they went out there it was just 5 people and they took down every single mastodon or fucking mammoth or you don't think a bunch of them motherfuckers didn't get killed by these animals, dude?
Yeah, that's true.
Like, they got killed, man. Like, I'm not saying we didn't kill them or
No,
we
no,
can't.
we drove 'em
We
to
got
extinction.
fucked up. Yeah,
We drove 'em
dude.
to
We ate
extinction.
them all.
Yeah.
They're not fully to extinction, I don't think, are
Woolly
they?
mammoth? Yeah.
Yeah, mammoths are
saber-tooth
extinct.
tiger
Yeah,
and shit.
saber-tooth
I thought they were about
tigers
to
are
bring it
extinct.
back.
No, they're trying to.
Yeah.
They're not gonna ever bring them back for real. It's just they're
Until they
gonna.
start walking around.
They'll make. Well, they just make
Alright,
elephants that look like.
What's
them.
the difference
That's what
between
they do.
elephants with
Elephants
big ass horns and mammoths? They
Well, I
have
think
fur.
mammoths are a lot fucking bigger though. ain't
Yeah,
they?
mammoths are gigantic. Well, see, that's what I'm saying. They have like the genes of the fucking I think it's the African elephant are close to the woolly mammoth, so they can like kind of make a woolly mammoth, but it's not a true woolly mammoth because they went extinct. You know, they found them ones that are frozen, and that's why they have the DNA and the genes and shit, so they can kind of, you know, cross them and make them. But it's like the dire wolf. They're just making these animals that look like them, not like.
But they have
actual
already
ones.
done that, so like, you can manipulate the genes.
Yeah, but well, they haven't. Yeah, they can do that stuff, but it's relatively new. Like they can get good at it, so they might have these actual
Sorry.
animals one day. But
I don't mean to do that. I apologize.
piece of shit.
You know what?
What animal would you bring back if you could pick one to bring back? You guys got one?
Velociraptor.
Velociraptors? Dude, that would be fucking terrifying.
Well, they were the smartest
Is
creature.
that technically classified as an animal?
I mean,
like,
it's a dinosaur.
Prehistoric animal.
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it counts.
Do we talk about water animal or land animal?
And
Any of them.
Any of them?
Yeah.
Sea turtle.
We still have sea turtles.
You'd bring back any. Oh, he didn't say
No, I
that.
meant like like extinct species.
From now.
Because that's what
From
we
now.
were just talking about.
Alright. If you can bring it back, any animal.
He's got a specific sea turtle in mind.
Alright, any animal from now to bring back.
No, just any extinct animal. Like anything you could think of, like. Would you bring one back?
dude, if they wouldn't have got wiped out by the fucking the meteor and everything like that, dude, Velociraptors would be the smartest creature on this planet. Not us.
See,
Yeah,
like,
right,
he
we'd
has,
be fighting them
he
bitches
has
off.
an example because of like his was a prehistoric animal. Like that's why I went way deeper into it. Like I was,
What?
I would have to say if I would bring any animal back, a unicorn.
Unicorns aren't real. Though.
Hey, we
Then I'm picking the dragons.
all right. That's
Actually,
a good
there's a
choice.
lot
That's
of
good
religions
choice.
around the world that
That
have
believe
in Exactly.
pictures of dragons.
Yeah.
If there, that's why I said from before. If there's any story, lore or tell, that's what I was trying to say earlier. Like any story, if it has if you have any thoughts behind it, it can be reality. everything's unproven.
You should
until
write a self-help book, Corey.
Everything's proven to be. How should I say it?
You could be like Brian in that one episode of Family Guy where he writes that self-help book and gets really popular for like 25 minutes.
Fuck you.
You're just very inspirational tonight. You're very optimistic about stuff.
I'm always optimistic about stuff. What are you talking about?
I don't know if I had to pick an extinct animal to bring back. It would be something stupid. It'd have to be some kind of some kind of weird ass fish. Cause I wouldn't want something that's gonna come back.
Pterodactyl. If he's gonna choose a dinosaur.
See, dude, I wouldn't want a pterodactyl though, because
If he's gonna choose the dinosaur, if he's gonna choose the Velociraptor, all I'm saying is if he has to choose the
I
Velociraptor,
don't have to choose it. That's what I wanted to choose.
I'm gonna choose the pterodactyl.
That's fine. I wouldn't choose a pterodactyl because I wouldn't want fucking just be trying to go out to my car and then the fucking pterodactyl swoop in and just grab
That's
you.
not what we're talking about. That's not what we're talking
That's
about.
what would happen.
That's what would happen if you brought back the pterodactyls.
Yeah, but that's not what we're talking about. He said if we had to bring back,
Uh.
are we saying the good to mankind? That's a whole different subject.
Oh
No, I just-
no. Velociraptors would be horrible for mankind to bring back.
Exactly.
I didn't consider that.
Yeah.
But I just if he asked,
Except for the good
what
of
would I
me.
do?
Except for, all right, for the good of mankind.
Yeah, I would pick something stupid to just like
You're
some
like
kind of,
Ducky.
yeah, some kind of goofy ass fish.
Oh,
It's not Dougie.
if I was going to do for the good of mankind, I would do the mammoth again so we can hunt it to extinction again and use all their tans and hides and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Good of mankind. It's not always good of other species.
Yeah, right, but fuck other species. That's why we're on top of the food
I
chain.
mean, for the good of mankind, long necks, because we could easily took him down and harvest them.
Like, long neck
the fucking
dinosaurs.
crazy long neck
Bron-
dinosaurs.
Brontosaurus.
Yeah,
Brontosaurus,
brontosaurus.
yeah.
That'd be crazy to have them bitches walking around.
Right.
You imagine hunting one of them motherfuckers from
Like,
like
he's just tromping.
across the fucking state. You're watching him fucking. You can see
And
his
it
head.
goes by in like what, like probably like 15 to like 30 seconds.
He probably can't even fucking see you, really. He's down there looking at him, and he's just fucking focused on something way over there.
Mm.
You could fuck him up. How would you? How
It
would
depends
you?
on how big you think he is.
How would you take down a brontosaurus? Let's say he's the height
Star
of
Wars?
this building.
Star Wars technique.
No. Like for real, how would you? What,
Yeah, they got
what do you mean to
brontosauruses in
Star
Star
Wars? You
Wars?
gonna bust out a lightsaber and fucking?
No. You,
Choke him
you
with
trap
the
his feet
force?
and let him fall.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
That makes sense.
And then
I
what?
thought you were gonna go Vader and try to force
No.
choke him.
No. Star Wars technique, as in like
Oh,
you trap
that's
his feet
too funny.
and let him fall.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about now. That's
I
just
mean-
not the first thing my mind went
Yeah.
to.
No,
when you
Star
said
Wars.
Star Wars.
Star Wars technique.
You got to think that the tensile strength of something that you would need for that, because that's a massive animal moving a lot of weight, so that's a lot of torque, and able to get something wrapped around that fast for him not to fucking move.
I'd ride him then. I'd
To be honest with you, other than
Damn.
like a fucking a warthog, the fucking jet with the fucking
Yeah.
big ass thing, a warthog. Other than that, I don't know.
we tamed elephants.
we gotta get a
somehow,
Black
right?
Hawk helicopter.
But
in
I
this
mean,
bitch.
okay, dude, a brontosaurus is way bigger than an elephant.
All right,
way
all right.
bigger.
Let's
You're
say.
talking like a moving
Like 3-4
building, bro.
times. Yeah.
All right, so I think that they rode them so long back then. Then when they fell down eventually, like old age, they utilized their parts and ate them.
I don't think the brontosaurus were around.
Yeah, I don't
sometime
think
during
anybody
that.
ever actually seen a brontosaurus.
It's a
No,
lie.
we weren't
This
just
is
we
why-
weren't just filleting up brontosaurus.
Brontosaurus burger. Not the Flintstones.
Oh,
All I'm saying is when there was brontosauruses,
I could be wrong, but I don't think humans.
When there was brontosauruses,
I don't think they were around at the same time.
But when there was brontosauruses, we were riding them until they laid down,
I don't think they
they
were.
laid down. Yeah,
and they filleted them up.
oh.
They totally did it like that. I swear to God. Maybe on your God.
Who's my god?
Spider-Man behind you.
Spider-Man. This is the only cool Spider-Man. It's the fucking 1990s Spider-Man from the fucking cartoon. That's the best one. I don't know if it really is or not.
No,
What is
it's not.
Oh yeah, it's old. Well, one of them, Ultimate Spider-Man, came out. I think that was early 2000s. And I'm just talking out my ass now. I don't fucking know. It's-
And there's a fucked up part in the original Spider-Man cartoon
Mhm.
that we watched back in the day.
Yeah.
There's this part where he kicks someone's ass in the fucking cartoon, and he goes to this fucking like hospital and talks to this little girl, and fucking, she's like, "Can I see your face, Spider-Man?" She's
Yeah,
like,
the little girl that's
I'll
his
never
fan.
tell anyone the rest of my life. And when he swings out, if you ever read the sign on it, says clinic for like terminally ill children or something like that. So like the rest of her life is not gonna be very long.
Yeah,
but, I mean,
yeah,
like, that's
you know.
fucked up that they put that in there.
Yeah, I remember that shit. Yeah, the little girl was in the hospital and she was like his biggest fan.
Yeah.
And he took this little sick girl out and swung her around the fucking New York.
Would she ask for it? I mean, like, she said, I want a good
Yeah,
time.
but she. I don't think she said it quite like that.
She said, I want a good time around the park.
Oh, shit. That was a good fucking. That was a good series. I wish they would just followed those storylines in the movies. That'd have been perfect. Like
What timelines are you talking about?
what?
What timelines are you talking about?
It was just the story. Like instead of doing what they did with the Spider-Man movies, just do movies of all the fucking 1990s villains. Like they did them, but you know they did them different. I'm just nitpicking, man. They're not gonna do that. They're not gonna cater to my wants. Like, and I know that, but I'm just that's what
Are you
I want.
disappointed with what they do with the Spider Universe?
No, but I would like it better if it was to my liking. You know.
Or would you be like, what would you do different?
I don't think
Different.
the movies are too bad.
Yeah, no, I like them.
What would you do different?
I would just make them more accurate to the fucking
Comic books?
Yeah, no, the '90s cartoon. Like I would. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
fuck the
saying.
'90s cartoon. They weren't even accurate to the fucking comic book.
I don't give a fuck about the comic books. That was my whole point. That's what I'm saying. Like if I had it my way, it would just be like movie adaptations, like
Of
like
your
that.
childhood
It would,
shit.
yeah, it would just be more accurate.
But
to
at the
those.
same time, like you were disappointed.
No, I
you would
wasn't.
do-
I did not say anything about being
Or
disappointed.
what would you do different?
I just told you.
But at the same time,
I
you-
didn't. I like the Spider-Man movies. I'm not saying that I'm disappointed with what happened, but if I had it absolutely my way, I would do it more accurate to the '90s cartoon. That's all I'm saying. I'm not disappointed with any Spider-Man movies. I liked them, but I'm not like upset.
that he didn't get changed into a spider.
That would have been cool to see in a live action. movie,
Yeah,
I'm not
you.
gonna lie. That
It would have been sweet to see the Spider Slayers. Like we didn't get to see them. The Venom that they portrayed kind of sucked. Like
I did not think it did.
I like Tom Hardy's Venom.
That's
I
the same
didn't-
Venom.
No,
Or are you talking about like
The one in
from
the one in the
from
Tobey
the
Maguire.
Before
original
that.
Spider-Man 3. When
Alright,
they,
I get
yeah.
that. I get that. That was still not a really bad Venom.
But
Like
even
when we all seen it back in the day, we were super excited. Like we only give it like negative reviews now from everything we've seen.
I didn't give
Like
it. I didn't give it a bad. Like I thought Topher Grace played a good Venom, but it's not like.
I'm not just saying Topher Grace, the overall Venom in general.
I don't know, dude. To be honest with you, Topher Grace, dude. I just every time I see him in anything, I just see Eric
Foreman.
from-
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that's
I think
every
that might
show,
be
dude.
what ruined it.
Yeah, and that probably is what it is. And they were
They
so
made
close
him-
together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Can I be 100% honest? Like when I first seen that Spider-Man movie, I did not think of him at all.
Yeah, I don't say.
But still, in
anything
the
I see
end,
him
I
in,
thought it was a shitty
Eric
performance.
Foreman.
I thought it was a shitty performance by the guy that was supposed to be playing fucking, not Brawley, but who's the guy? Denny, not Denny. Guy was supposed to be portraying that guy in Venom.
Topher Grace or Eddie Brock.
Eddie Brock.
Oh,
Eddie Brock. And I thought it was just an overall shitty performance in general. I did not see Eric Foreman at all. When I first seen that, did not even think of him. I didn't even know it was him. I just thought it was a shitty performance. In general. Like, if
you
it,
were just mad at me like 2 minutes ago for kind of saying I didn't like that Venom, and now you're saying it's a shitty performance.
that's a different
I'm just confused.
explanation.
But I didn't even think it was terrible. It wasn't like a.
I said it was a shitty performance. I can explain it in many different ways.
But I mean, I thought he did okay. But it's just not the Venom that I wanted, you know. And that's the same thing with the Tom Hardy Venom. Like, it's a cool Venom.
I can say the newer Venom is a way better Venom. As a person, that it's not even Eddie Brock, is it? Is it Eddie Brock in the new Venom?
Yeah, he's still Eddie Brock.
He plays a way better Eddie Brock and a new Venom than the old Eddie Brock.
Have you seen the third one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the third one.
No.
Mm-mm. Is it good?
It's good. Yeah.
Is it?
I didn't like the ending, but
Is that Carnage?
you'll have to
That's
watch
not
that.
Carnage.
Yeah.
Right?
No, that's the second one.
No, yeah. I would say Carnage was the second one. The third one, that just came out like last year, didn't it? Last year, the year before, something like that. It hasn't been too long.
Something like that. How long am I cool to be parked out there?
Just that
2
dude.
to 4
They don't
hours.
even open. Yeah, I mean, it says 2-hour parking on the other side of the street, but then I would say the dude doesn't open until like Friday, so he don't care as long as.
I just got a parking ticket. I didn't want to get another one.
Fuck that, dude. Somebody out front had a ticket on the front of their truck, which is crazy because I've never gotten a parking ticket for anything. So I was like, I wonder what the fuck he did.
Parked there for too long, one spot.
But it's a dude that lives here, so I don't know if he got a ticket parked out in front or if he just had the ticket at like it just didn't make sense to me. I feel like they would had to have put it on out here for something, but it was right out in front of the building, so you shouldn't be able to get a ticket for parking there because that's where we're supposed to park for living here.
That's up to speculation because I don't think has anybody ever been like you're allowed to park there.
Yeah, it's in my fucking lease.
I'm just curious.
We have a parking spot. Like,
it says in your parking lease like where you can park.
Yeah, we get a parking spot.
You should be. I already told you a long time ago to spray paint that shit like VIP one.
Yeah, we're gonna say that's yeah. They're technically designated for us, but you know people people park there during the day. They got like the fucking financial office and shit down there, or I don't know if it's a financial office. It's fucking something, but it's whatever. All right, y'all. We're gonna cut that there.